Why do you think we care about your bum fantasy teams?
I told everybody get Drew. I got Wilson. No, I got Chandler Parsons. He dropping 12 points already. Only third quarter. That's efficiency right there. When Dirk comes back, when CJ Miles comes back, when D'Angelo, he just got it. When he comes back, when Derek Favors come back. Oh my God.
It's not like you just listed 5 bums in a row.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Nobody.
Derek Favors putting up real numbers though. I don't know if you followed him last year in fantasy. This guy's a beast.
Hey, what's up with YouTube? It's the one and only legend of winning, aka Low, and we're back with another podcast. I have no idea why, but on my Twitter it posts it in Spanish or whatever this is. But if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me at Legend of Winning. Just posted a video as well, so everything is kind of just coming at everybody right now. Sorry if it's overwhelming, but I want to make sure I drop that video today. And we're probably going to talk about some trades, too, about Anthony Davis potentially being traded, DeMarcus Cousins. And then, of course, you got Klay Thompson as well. That crazy rumor is running around. Before we get into anything, make sure you sit back, relax, enjoy the videos, enjoy the podcast every Friday, 9:30. But today we're going at 10. Then let me introduce I ain't got to introduce y'all. Y'all going to introduce yourself. Y'all introduce yourself, but hurry up.
Yo, YouTube, what's cracking like a jacket smacking this Wolfman in here? You already know the leader of the pack. The god on 2K.
Oh, what pack?
The New York Knicks fanatic. The ultimate Knicks fan in New York. And, we back in here, boy.
Yeah, I already know. Raptors up again. It's always on a podcast night. Every time. Anyway, Raptors playing the Nuggets right now. Yo, what's popping, people? A lot of things have changed since last week. Just like it does every week in the NBA. So we're here to talk about it. Kick back. I'll pop on some 2K. I booted up 2K just now, and they got a My Park After Dark ad on it with DJ Snoopadelic.
Ew.
Yo, DJ Snoopadelic. Yo, what? Yeah, I can't say
Someone in my comments was like, yo, you just take a shot at Snoop? Easy dislike. I was like, what?
I'm going to take a shot at him.
Remember when he called himself Snoop Lion? Anyway, okay, what's going on here? What's up? By the way, the Pelicans. Drew's back. Dominating the Trailblazers. We'll get into it.
True. So we can just start off like that right there. For people who don't know, Drew Holiday's back. He was never injured. People who are unaware, he was never injured. It was his wife that was going through some medical issues. So he decided to be with his wife throughout her surgery and the things that she needed to do. But he's finally back with the Pelicans, and he's leaving a major impact. I think Agent was just talking about it. What is his first game back?
The game's not over yet, but he has 19 points. Let me check the number. 19 points and 5 dimes. Let me refresh, see if it. 21.7 dimes, yo. I'm loving it. She had 57%.
So Drew Holiday's back. Just real quick, touch upon Drew Holiday, just in case people might have forgotten.
Yo, before we get in, sorry, I have a question before you get into all that.
What?
Yo, is it selfish for Drew to take the games off? Like, you might be like it was his wife, Agent, but think about it. He signed a contract. He said he was going to play these games, and physically he was able to play the game. So I'm asking, if you're a Pelican fan, can you make the argument that Drew Holiday was being selfish for not playing those basketball games?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
What? Man, this woman is dying. What do you want me to do?
I mean, the contract was signed.
Fuck the contract, nigga.
Yeah, fucking contracts.
And look at their team right now. What are they, 2 for 8 or something like that? Let me check right now. They are, they're
so
2
what
for
they would
10.
have they would have been.
No, if that's 8,
they would have been 3 for 8 then.
No, but I'm saying, what if he was able to get a few more wins, and those wins are the difference to put them in the playoffs?
But they're not making
I don't think it's the case, but I'm saying, I think if you're a Pelican fan, you can look back and be like, fuck, if Drew was playing, he already had that massive impact. Great game against the Trailblazers, game 1.
Man. Yo, everybody in the chat, I already see y'all about to do it, so go ahead and give this man Agent some L's.
No, it was a question, bitch. I didn't say I was
That's what they said in the chat. Dude in the chat was like, what the F? Selfish? I don't think it was valid.
You ladies out there, Asian.
That didn't make no sense at all. That man's wife had a brain surgery, man. Come on, give him a break.
No, if Anthony Davis was out for 12 games.
Well, he's always out for 12 games.
I'm about to say he's been out for 12 games since he got in the NBA.
You know what? Here's another argument. Like, you could take sick days. You work a 9 to 5 in like an office, right? So, but then again, there's so much on the line. I don't know. I feel bad for Pelican fans, but you know what I'm happy about is he's finally back. Shout out to Drew and his family. Hope everything's all right. But that man's gonna ball. I have him on my fantasy team, of course, because I see shit like this coming, and it's a massacre out there right now. These stats I'm looking at, I didn't even think they're gonna come this nice. So I'm happy.
Yeah, just in case people might have forgotten, like Drew Holiday, like is a legit player. Like when people sit here and like run his name up, or when it comes to like some of the better point guards in the NBA, people act like it's blasphemous. But like I actually do believe Drew Holiday is one of the better point guards in the NBA, and his inability to stay on the court really had nothing to do with him, nor the organization with the Pelicans, and more so had to do with the 76ers not warning everybody what was going on. So I think that I think it's actually a really, really good thing that he's back. I think he's going to leave a major imprint. I think it's something that they need. However, they're still not making the playoffs. I don't really see how he
top
is.
Top 10 point guard? You think top 10?
No, he's not top 10. I don't know.
He might be. Yo. I remember when he played for the 76ers.
No, he's not a top 10.
I don't know. He only had one game so far against a bad Trailblazers team.
No, but I'm saying historically speaking.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest too. Why do people keep thinking that the Trailblazers are like a really good team?
That was y'all. Remember what you ranked them?
Nah, that was y'all.
No, even last year I didn't have them making the playoffs, and they made the play. I'm not saying they're not going to make the playoffs, but like when people make it seem like, oh yeah, they beat the Trailblazers, I'm like, are the Trailblazers really that good of a team anyway though? Like, is that a team that you like can like put on your calendar? Like, yeah, we beat that team and that team.
Yo, let me give you these numbers. A lot of people like to say Dame is underrated. I get he doesn't really have a team. You can't run around saying he's the most underrated player in the NBA. Take a look at some of these numbers, right?
He is.
Today he's shooting 33%. Previous game, 41, 31, 38. Finally a good game, 63. He shot 10% against the Clippers. It's like there's game after game shooting 27%, 42%. So I'm saying I get Dame is a great player, but you have to be a phenomenal fucking player to carry a team like he did last year. But this year, with the higher concentration of great teams at the very top, it's damn near impossible for him to compete. So he's going to make the playoffs, right? You can agree on that?
Yeah, I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't understand the people out there who make this argument like, oh, yeah, they beat the Trailblazers. I'm like, the Trailblazers is basically two guards and a whole bunch of other players.
And no defense.
Is Dame and CJ McCollum and a whole bunch of other players that really aren't panning out the way that we all expect them to pan out.
Yeah, Myers Leonard. He was supposed to be nice. What happened to Myers Leonard? Evan Turner, right? He got that nice contract.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people on that team that you'd expect to step up and start to develop. And it's really just at this point, it feels like Dame and McCollum are the only people you hear about.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he's good, but I don't know if he's that good. You got anything to say about Drew Holiday Waffle,
No,
nice.
just
say Waffle.
Glad he's back. He got the goggles on, so he had that super game because he got the goggles. Everyone that got the goggles always plays better.
He's not no top 10 point guard though. That
was a question. I can't ask questions without y'all accusing me of stuff. I was wondering.
That's like me asking like, are you a woman? Like, come on, like I know that.
Come on, that's a really stupid example right there.
It's because it's a stupid example because it's a stupid question. We know the answer.
Do we though? Do we? Some point guys got worse though.
Yo,
you don't want someone. You think that Drew Holiday is even? I don't think Drew Holiday is top 15.
All right, let's name Chris
he's
Paul,
top 15.
Westbrook, Kyrie, Kyle Lowry,
Say it again, because he was talking.
Westbrook, Kyrie, John Wall, Lillard, Kyle Lowry, 5, bang, right there. Woo.
I know that's not in order, but okay.
Yeah, it's not in order.
Because you didn't even name Curry. You ain't named Curry yet.
Yeah, Curry.
Wait, did you even say Chris? Did you say Chris Paul?
Yeah, he said Chris Paul.
You said
Chris Paul, right?
Oh no, I don't know. We'll put a 7 then. We got 7. Like who else is there?
Kemba Walker.
Isaiah
Walker.
Thomas. I'm gonna say Kemba Walker looking really good. Isaiah Thomas too.
Okay, y'all right. He's not top 10. Okay.
Reggie Jackson.
He's injured, so no.
I mean, but when he's back there, he's
back.
really
I still think Drew's better, so no.
Oh, that's a stretch.
No, I think there's enough though. We probably missed one. Some of you
that's a stretch. And if you throw Mike Conley over him too,
you think Mike Conley's better than Drew?
I think Mike. Yeah. I think here's the thing though. I think Mike Conley's overrated. We're gonna talk about someone who really overrated because he's so.
Because he got the paycheck. Come on.
No. He's been so underrated so long that now people start to figure out what he is. People just want to throw his name out there just so they can act like they know what they're talking about. And they're like, "Oh my God, Mike Conley! Oh, Mike Conley!" And it's like, I mean, he good, but like, calm down. All right, chill. I don't think he that good, but. I don't know you ran. I'm gonna just count them off real quick. No order. Kyrie, Kemba, Lowry, Isaiah. I think Reggie Jackson's top 10, or not top. He before Drew Holiday. Reggie Jackson,
John Wall.
John Wall. I think that's all in the East. That's all in the East, though. That's all in the East.
Oh, that's all in the East.
Yeah, that's just the East. That's 6 players right there in the East. In the West, you got
I think
Chris
it's
Paul.
5. I don't think you put Reggie Jackson in there, but keep going.
Chris Paul, Curry,
Westbrook. James
Harden.
Harden.
If you keep James Harden, I'm going to say James Harden, the point guard. So that's 10 right there. That's 10 names right there. James Harden. And if you throw Mike Conley, that's 11.
But he's not.
And then Dame, that's 12.
Yo, real
so
quick.
It's close. We're
talking about Drew. Not only did Drew have
and then Bledsoe. Bledsoe's better, too. Bledsoe's better.
Oh, you're right. Not only did he have a good game, Anthony Davis this game logged 38 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 blocks with a win. I'm saying Drew Holiday is that player that you need. If you have Anthony Davis, you need somebody to supplement the
they need anybody. They need anybody to compliment Anthony Davis.
Frazier was not it, and that was clear. Like, he was getting decent numbers, but Drew, it's clear the chemistry works between the two. So not only did Drew come back and have an amazing game, especially for game 1, he came back. Amazing second half. But now Anthony Davis is playing well. On top of that, they're winning games. All right, so I think when I put the Pelicans in the playoffs in my bracket, I was thinking something like this was going to happen. Maybe not to the extent, because it's going really fucking well, but we'll see.
Yeah, it is one game, so calm down.
But they don't have a lot of great, like, they're not tough opponents coming up. They got Charlotte, Atlanta, Minnesota, Portland again. So it's wins you can definitely get.
Charlotte and Atlanta is better than them.
I'm saying they're not. I'm saying you're not going up against the Cavs or the Warriors. You're not going up.
They're going to lose those games, though.
They're going to lose some
winnable games.
Not really.
Maybe not Atlanta. Definitely.
I'm say Atlanta. He going to put that up.
And they could beat Portland again.
He gonna beat that. He gonna put that on Dwight. You're crazy.
I'm not saying it's that. I think there's a chance. Y'all saying there's no chance for them winning that game?
I mean, there's a chance for every game.
I mean, I must say it's chance for them to win any game. I think it's slimmer.
Oh, you're out your mind.
It's slimmer than what you're making it seem. I don't think Drew Holiday's that good.
I think they have a chance if they have a really good run right now to go 3-1 in those next 4 games. Take a loss.
If Reggie Jackson was there, would you say that?
What do you mean?
If Reggie Jackson was on that team, would you sit there and say, man, they could ring off the next 3 games?
Oh, absolutely not. I don't think Reggie Jackson is good as Drew, though. So
you're crazy then. All right.
I'm gonna watch some Pelican games for sure this next week.
No, I'm good with that. And Rondo is not better than Drew Holiday. If people need to look at them Chicago games, you'll figure out why he's not better, because he's not. After that, move on to the next topic. You got the worst teams in the NBA right now. Ooh, this right here probably gonna get us under some people's nerves. And actually, we're gonna talk about the best teams as well after this. So some of the worst teams in the NBA, a lot of teams are disappointing some of their fan bases. If you're a Philadelphia 76er fan, you probably expected this. Maybe even if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, you probably expected this as well with Dirk going out. He's down, missing some games. So, that's a huge piece right there. But a few teams that are probably huge disappointments to their fan base in the East. We got the Washington Wizards, who are 3-8 right now. That's just abysmal. I don't get that whatsoever.
On a positive note with the Wizards, by the way, Otto Porter is playing phenomenal. John Wall is finally healthy again, and Bradley Beal is likely going to come back, or Todd's playing great. So they have I think they make the playoffs now, but they look good.
Bradley Beal's already back, by the way.
I have him on my team right now. Let's see if he's playing.
I expected the Washington Wizards to make the playoffs. I don't know why I expected that, but that's what.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't know why I expected. I mean, it's a chance. It's still a chance, to be honest.
I don't know. They're kind of far down.
I mean, they're low right now, but
They beat the Knicks.
Give it a month.
Because they did beat the Knicks.
They beat the Knicks. True.
And that's like Bradley Beal's back. He was letting your team up.
Well, I didn't watch the game, so.
I don't know. I just feel like the Wizards. I don't know. That team don't look good at all.
That team is nasty, man. The starting lineup, I mean, it's all right, but then you look at the bench. Like, who's on the bench again?
Nobody. I think Trey Burke is the best player off the bench, and I take that back. I think he's the only real player coming off that bench.
Wait, is Morris starting? They have Morris.
Marcus, yeah, he's starting. Yeah. Yep, he's starting. And then they got Otto Porter at 3, and then Marcin Gortat. So, yep, that's it. That's their lineup. And Bradley Beal. So, yeah, it's been looking kind of ugly. So, Washington has been a huge letdown. Another huge letdown, Indiana Pacers. It's been a back and forth for Indiana. They've been up and down a little bit. But coming from, watching Atlanta games for a while now, Jeff Teague, where have you been? It's been unbelievable how inconsistent he's been. Same thing with Paul George as well. I've always questioned Paul George with his inconsistency offensively, and I tried to give him the heads up last year. I was like, you know what, Paul George, I might have to rock with Paul George, but I don't know. He kind of up and down too. But for sure, I think Jeff Teague is the one that's holding them back, and they're not really getting too much productivity with Monte Ellis starting in the lineup, especially on the defensive end. Something I asked a few weeks ago if Monte should still be starting in the NBA anyway. But just in case people don't know, Jeff Teague right now, 14 points a game, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, nearly about a steal and a half. Shooting under 40% though, and under 30% from the three. What y'all think about what's going on in Indiana? Oh, and Larry Bird has to be brought to question.
That team, whatever. What the fuck did they expect? They fired Frank Vogel. Somebody tried to tell me Frank Vogel wasn't a nice coach. What are you talking? He's one big difference that happened over the offseason. The biggest difference was easily Vogel. All right, you got Miles Turner developed. That's what's up. Okay. Al Jeff. All right, that's cool. So you got all these players. You got Jeff Teague. You gave away George Hill, by the way. If you guys have been paying attention, George Hill is playing insane in Utah before the injury. And look at your team now. There's no defense. So your biggest attribute is out the door, and you don't even have offense yet. You're still inconsistent offensively. They've won some big games against the Cavs, even though LeBron and I think J.R. Waffle said wasn't playing. I know LeBron wasn't for sure. So they have a lot to prove, and this might be a team that initially people thought, second seed, they're going to beat the Raptors. They're going to beat the Hawks. They might even beat the – no. All right, this team might not make the playoffs, actually. So – especially if other teams start to step up. All right, if the Knicks start to step up, you see teams like the Wizards now getting healthy. The Pacers are in trouble if they can't get their act together. But hey, right? Frank Vogel's garbage, right?
I think people they looked at the lineup. They're like, "Oh my God, we got Jeff Teague now. That's an upgrade." They thought that was an upgrade from George Hill. We got Thad Young in there, power forward now, backing up. Miles Turner if he gets going, and now we got Al Jefferson off the bench. And we also still got Monte, and they thought Paul George. They was like, man, Paul George is going to take that huge leap next season. I mean, look at him come back this season.
He ain't taking no steps.
And Paul George has honestly been, he's shooting about 40% from three. He's shooting the 3-point range good. He has still has a good field goal percentage for his shooting. But 21 points per game still. I expect like 23, 25 maybe. And you look at him. And compare him to DeRozan, DeRozan just went above Paul George. I mean, that could have been Paul George somewhat, a little bit this year, but and he's injured now, so Pacers and he lost to the Suns today. So that team.
Somebody in the chat said shooting 46% is inconsistent.
I saw that too.
You can't take an average and then determine whether something is inconsistent. You have to look at the range. But I'm looking at George Hill's numbers right now. Before the injury, he's dropping 20.4 points. 5 dimes a game. That's George Hill, y'all. Can I compare to Paul George real quick? Because he might be dropping similar stats to he's dropping 1 less point per game than Paul George. Wow.
Let me address the 46% person in the chat. I can't even find his name no more. But the problem with a lot of people do is, especially with averages, if they look at the average and they think that's it. 46%. If you look at what he does on a game-to-game basis, that's the problem. And even go back last year and the year before that, it's the same problem. When they played Cleveland, he shot 44% from the field. The game before that in Orlando, he shot 31. The game before that, 45. The game before that, 56. The game before that, 33. The game before that, 50. The game before that, 36. It's always been up and down. So he'll have a really good game where he shoots 66% from the field, and that brings up his averages. But you can't overlook the fact that he'll go from 50 to 30 to 40 to 60 back to 30. Like, he does that, and he's been doing that for the past 2 years. And I've been consistently making this argument that that's who Paul George is offensively, and he's not exactly that great of a. I don't know why people keep saying Drew Holiday's in the West. I know he's in the West. He's not exactly that great of a offensive player. He's still good. I'm not saying he's not good at all, but he's still a really, really good offensive player. But he's just not taking that next step that I think a lot of people, especially me, I expected out of him. And I think it's completely fine to hold some of these players to higher expectations. But just to look at his average and not look at the game-by-game stats and not look at what he's doing every game is kind of misleading because even though, it's 46%, if you look at it, he goes from 40 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 60, and then he'll drop back down. But the thing is, they're losing the rebounding battle quite consistently. They get rebound almost every single night. Right now they're allowing 47 rebounds, which is almost last in the NBA. They're also allowing 11 offensive rebounds, which is ridiculous as well. They're getting beat on the boards, 5 to 6 rebounds a game. That's a big problem. And when you look at the lineups that they're running, I really just don't think that they don't have no prominent big in there long enough to help on the boards because they're taking Thad Young and Miles Turner out. They're not even playing 30 minutes a game. So then they're taking them out and then putting in Al Jefferson. Al Jefferson really isn't doing much when he's on the court, but they're just switching the lineups and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with the lineups. I understand you're going to have some growing pains, but the way that they're getting beat on the boards is pretty concerning. I think that's something they got to look at moving forward. But Larry Bird firing Frank Vogel, I don't get that even right now. I still don't get that whatsoever.
Yo, real quick. Oh my! I don't know what the fuck somebody in my fantasy league is thinking, but she just dropped Rudy Gay. I'm so utterly confused. He's on waivers until tomorrow. If I can snag okay.
I don't know why you said this out. I don't know why you said it out loud.
She dropped it for Terrence Ross because no one it's a private league. It's on my friends.
Oh, okay.
She dropped him for Terrence Ross, bro, and then she dropped Terrence Ross for Wesley Matthews. What the fuck? I'm assuming somebody already took him on waivers, but if not, we'll see. Anyway, keep going. Sorry, I was watching that.
It's cool. And then in the West is actually looking really good as a whole unit. You have the Lakers and the Clippers and Golden State Warriors in the Pacific Division actually doing really well. And the Southwest Division isn't looking that bad neither. So we're going to touch on those teams as well. But however, the one team that at least stands out to me that is somewhat disappointing is the Minnesota Timberwolves. When you look at the three guys, Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins, who just had a great game not too long ago, and so did Karl Anthony Towns. Three of them.
Every game's been a great game from Cat and Wiggins.
Yeah. So both of them, and LaVine as well, all three of them are nearly averaging 20-plus points. I think actually Cat and Wiggins are averaging well over 20 points. It's just LaVine, he goes up and down from 18 to 20. Right now he's at 18.8. So they're getting productivity from all of them, and all of them are shooting great from the field. It's just everybody else is not really bringing it in. And then defensively, they're having some problems with Ricky Rubio and Chris Dunn at the point guard position. And in today's NBA, that defense at that point guard position is not something you need to have problems with. So you don't necessarily look at Minnesota Timberwolves, but in the West, is there any teams that has been a disappointment to you all and looking at how bad they've been losing these games?
Mavericks. Well, we knew the Mavericks was going to happen, but Dirk went down. Shout out to Dirk on my fantasy team. I named my team the Dirk Knight Rises. He still went down. Anyway, the Mavericks. I mean, Harrison Barnes is balling, but that team, I don't know if I expect them to be 2-8. I figure you might at least, maybe a little under 500. But, I mean, some teams are going to have to lose for some teams to win, right? So there's going to be teams that are disappointing, just like there's going to be teams that are surprising. And I think I'll go with the Mavericks in the West.
I mean, that team doesn't have Dirk or Deron Williams playing. So.
Yeah, I'll be back in a sec.
They're missing 2 of their pieces. But, I mean, the Western Conference to me looks about right. It looks just like I predicted. The Timberwolves being bad because they're just bad. They got the pieces there, but, just like the Knicks, they're just bad, man. So they're a team that I just expected to just be bad for another season. Maybe next season they'll turn it around, but the whole team is putting up numbers. Karl Anthony Towns putting up 22 points per game. You see Wiggins out there balling, having 30-point games, and they're still finding ways to lose. How? With even Tom Thibodeau there, we don't know.
They losing. I don't know. I got to start watching their games because I don't know how exactly they're losing, but they're finding ways to lose games even when everybody has really good games, and I don't get that whatsoever. But yeah, I think you're right though with the West. The West is actually looking as an all-around conference is looking really well-rounded. I mean, New Orleans was going to be bad. I don't think nobody really expected them to make the playoffs. If you did, and you have been way optimistic about them, and Dallas is out to a slow start, mainly because of injuries. But everybody else is kind of like right around what I thought they were going to be. Utah is going to start off slow because of injuries as well. Denver is Denver, so they weren't going to win games. And then Sacramento is Sacramento. So I think a lot of people, and we'll touch on Sacramento later on, and Phoenix is Phoenix as well. So I think a lot of teams in the West look about where they need to be. But we're going to transition from that to some of the better teams, though. We'll stay in the West. Some of the better teams in the NBA in the Western Conference right now, San Antonio Spurs, 9-3 right now. They starting off really strong. Los Angeles Clippers 10-2 with the best record in the NBA right now, which is kind of crazy. Golden State Warriors 9-2. I think they just won tonight against Boston, so that makes them 10-2. And then you have a couple other teams that are near 500, but a few games above 500 like OKC and Portland and the Los Angeles Lakers, along with Houston. What is the biggest surprise to you in some of these better teams in the Western Conference, Waffle? What are you seeing out these teams out in the West?
I mean, like I said, honestly, the Lakers are surprised because they're 7-5. You know, they've been playing good basketball. They've been beating teams. But like last year, man, I mean, it's the same as before. You got the Warriors and the Clippers on top, Spurs right there, trying to get there for the second position. The Thunder and the Rockets were going to, they're going to make the playoffs, of course, and be that 4th, 5th seed because they have top 5. Nigga, they have top 10 players. Like I keep saying, man, they're going to bring them teams. They don't got bottom, players on the bottom like that. Like, they make a little name Russell Westbrook. And none of them niggas in the top 8 teams have James Harden or Westbrook. So that's why I think the Thunder and the Rockets are going to be there. And the Clippers, they're 10-2, but the only team that really beat is the Spurs. All the other teams they should really be handling, clearly, but they lost to the Grizzlies and the Thunder. But most of the teams in the, like I said, in the Western Conference, the top 3 teams, they're gonna be like almost all the lowest seeded teams, like every single time. So it's really gonna be, the interconference matchups between the Clippers and the Spurs and the Warriors, and then when they face the Eastern Conference teams like the Cavaliers and the Raptors, to where you're going to see where the wins and the losses really count. But most of the majority of the NBA, honestly, is like below average, team-wise. So they should be winning a lot of games like that.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know about – I guess you're right because, they have to win some games and teams have to lose, and I don't think they're going to lose. But I really just don't see OKC – I don't think both of them are going to make the playoffs. Because if it's,
I don't think OKC's gonna make the playoffs.
I said both of them. He said OKC and Houston because they have top 10 players on their team on their roster. I don't think both of them are gonna make it because you just look at how it's shaping up. Clippers, Golden State. I think Utah is gonna make it. Portland, San Antonio.
I think you got to put the Thunder above Portland.
You think chill out. And then at that point at least three more spots, and you still have OKC, Houston, Memphis. I think Memphis could squeeze in there. I don't know if I said Utah or not. So I don't know. I think it's a tad bit different. What we were talking about, Agent, was teams in the West that's been surprising you so far out of the top teams with
Clippers. They got the same team but a new identity. Now that Blake's healthy, that team can stay healthy, man. I know a lot of people say I think they can make a playoff push. Make it into the final. Well, yeah, I think they can make it into the finals, man.
No.
Wow, you gonna switch your tone over weeks, huh?
No, I lied. No, they wouldn't.
You switch your tone. That's
because I've been watching them play, and they're not playing like they did in the past. You need to look at some of the advanced stats of that team. The how they're playing is part of the reason why most power rankings got them at number 1 right now. They're playing absolutely phenomenal. Same with Golden State right now. So I'm down to watch that Western Conference Finals. I don't really care who wins because I don't really like any of those teams I'm a fan of, but I think it'd be fun to watch that, right?
Here's the thing, though. Because I made a video earlier in the week talking about how they may lack defensive presence, and everybody was like, "What? They're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA right now. What?" And it's like, I don't understand. Like when the identity if I say something that fits the identity of your narrative, then you don't have a problem with agreeing with it. But if I say something that is completely out of your narrative, then you'll make an excuse like, man, it's only 10 games in the season, man. Give them a chance. Like, if I said the Knicks are trash and they're not making the playoffs, it's only 10 games, man. Just chill for a second, man. Give them a chance. If I said the Pacers are trash, they ain't making the playoffs, just give them a chance, man. 10 games, man. It's only 10 games. The Clippers defensively, who have they played? They played Portland the first game. Portland still scored 106 points. Played Utah without Gordon Hayward and Derek Favors coming off the bench. They played Phoenix, bad team. They played San Antonio. That was a really good win for them. They played Memphis twice, lost once, one of them, just the last game they played. The other game, they won, but Memphis is a team that hasn't been able to score for who knows how long. They played Detroit without Reggie Jackson, Portland again, which was I think that was a more convincing win. And then they played OKC, but they scored over 100. Minnesota scored over 100, and they beat Brooklyn. They're not really playing any good teams. So give it a second. I don't know. I just feel like, and they just, like I said earlier, they just lost to Memphis. So I think people are jumping to conclusions about how great that team is defensively.
Parsons back.
Oh, Parsons was that. But everybody kept saying Luke Bahamute, he a lockdown defender, man. He supposed to clamp up, man. He clamping them up. He out there, he doing everything. He guarding point guards and all that, man. Come on, yo, Luke Bahamute, he really about to clamp him up. I don't know. I just feel like some y'all jumping to conclusions. Y'all don't want to jump on conclusions on some things, and then other things y'all jump on conclusions. Because if y'all look at who they played, it's not. Some of them teams ain't that impressive at all.
I feel bad for him. Waffle, man. All this guy's enthusiasm just disappeared, Joe. He knows that team's a disaster right now.
We talking about the Clippers?
Nope, the Knicks.
How we get to the Knicks?
I don't know how we get to the Knicks.
Because I was just thinking while you're saying that, like, I feel bad for Waffle. He's in the same. Remember the optimism he had to start the season?
Now I'm still optimistic. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, you said Knicks top 4 and all this. I was like, really though? I don't know. But anyway.
Oh, another thing too about the sorry, Kujo, but look, like Luke Bahamute, he's only playing like 20 minutes. Like everybody keeps saying, like, oh my god, he clamped people up. You need to watch your games. He clamping people up. He's only playing 20 minutes. Like even the last game when they went against Memphis, he played 21 minutes. He's not even playing a significant amount of minutes for anybody to sit here and say that he's making that much of a great difference on the perimeter. They're just playing teams that have a hard time struggling to score, regardless of who they play. Those are teams that can't score regardless. So it just doesn't matter. I mean, it matters. Don't get me wrong. Luke Bahamute makes a difference, but he ain't making that big of a difference. And the Lakers, the Lakers, my team. So that's been the biggest surprise out in the West.
There was an article that said something like the Hawks, the Raptors, and the Clippers are good teams, and then they said something to the nature of the Lakers are just on fire. So they think the Lakers are going to eventually cool off, and they gave a bunch of analytics, past historical data, etc. And they said a lot of the reason the Lakers are winning is, of course, the efficient play from Nick Young and Lou Williams, where if you look historically in their career, almost never happened. So the fact that they're still playing this well, first of all, if you have those two on your fantasy team, try and dish them immediately. But we'll see. The Lakers are a fun team to watch. D'Angelo, I know he's just dealing with the injury right now, but he just came off a phenomenal game, dropped more than 30. And Julius Randle is playing, getting like Derek Favors numbers already. Wow. I know Laker fans, y'all don't want
Derek Favors. Man, don't you ever say Derek Favors in your life.
I'm serious. He's getting Derek Favors numbers, but
he's better than Derek Favors. We gotta cut that.
Whoa, calm your shit.
No, I ain't calming nothing. Yo, Julius Randle is better than Derek Favors.
Yo, we're about to have a beef if you continue this argument right now.
14 point. He got 4 assists a game. You're bugging.
Derek Favors is a better player than Julius Randle right now.
Who would you rather have on your team?
That's not the same answer, though.
No, answer the question.
Because I would rather have a young guy on my team who can develop.
Agent, who would you rather have on your team?
Well, let me speak. There's many different variables. One, Derek Favors gets more injured. So I would much rather have Julius Randle if he's going to play. And he's younger? That's what I'd rather have on my team. But I'm saying the better player right now is Derek Favors.
I don't know. Even if it is Derek Favors, I don't even know if it's that big of a gap, to be honest.
It's not a huge gap, but it's a big enough gap where you're like, okay, I mean, if I wanted to get numbers right
now. I
wouldn't
even say it's that big of a gap.
No, but
he's not that better.
He's not that much better if you think he's that better.
He is, though. But
the flexibility that Randle brings to that team, that man is bringing up the ball up the court and initiating offense from time to time.
I know. I'm saying, though, I saw somebody in the comments earlier in the chat talking about would you trade D'Angelo and Ingram for Westbrook. I was like, yo, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we gonna get on these
young guys.
Yeah, we gonna get to this trade talk because these trades people throwing around is just dumb as hell.
Very dumb.
I just made the video with a dumb trade in there too. I ain't gonna lie, but no, I think Randle is, even though the numbers may not show it, I think just the flexibility that Randle brings to the court makes him better. And he's playing. It's not like he's playing the same amount of minutes. Like people always look at like the minutes.
No, you're doing the same thing you did with Cat, talking about he's the best center. This is DeMarcus, all right, the best power forward. It's not Derek Taylor.
I didn't even say what Julius. I didn't say Julius Randle's the best power forward.
I know, but I remember you said the same thing with Cat, where you start overrating young guys. I get they're gonna be good.
I'm not overrating. I'm looking at what he's doing, and I'm saying it's better than what Derek Favors is doing.
You're wrong though, so
I'm not wrong. It's a fact.
Favors not even a top 10 power forward, so
yeah, he's. Wait, let me. I gotta look at my list. I gotta look at the list I put up because I don't. Yeah, he might not even be a top 10 power forward.
you know.
you guys right now with the fucking disrespect. Check some Derek Favors stats.
I don't need to check the stats, nigga. I already know.
Exactly.
What are his stats, Waffle?
Nigga, I don't need to know his stats. I already know.
Oh, you said you don't, but you don't need to know. What do you mean you make up your mind, Waffle?
I don't think Derek. I think you overrating Derek Favors right now. I think because Derek
Favors say he's clearly better than Julius Randle.
Yeah, that would be overrating. I think because Derek Favors might put up. Yeah, Derek Favors might put up a mean 15 and 9, and you're like, oh, that's nice. I need that on my Raptors team, and then you're like, oh yeah, we need that. We need that.
Derek Favors. I'm not gonna get it. For someone who overrates Utah, being you, I'm surprised you don't know how good Derek Favors is. To be honest,
I'm not saying he's not good. That word never came out of my mouth.
Well, if you think he's worse than Julius Randle, that's essentially what you're saying.
Right now, and he wait, let me before I say Derek Favors numbers, he is injured. So I want to.
No, you can't give this year's numbers. He only played a few games, and even in those games, some of them were like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's playing very limited minutes. So right now, 10. But you said
give last year's number.
No. Wait. You said right now. That's what you said.
This year, he's playing like right 10 minutes a game.
Can I say the numbers?
Right now is clear.
Can I say?
You know how I know? It's because I have him on my
how was it? No, tell me. How was it biased when I sat there and I gave a prerequisite to what I'm about to say by telling the people that he's injured? So the numbers are he's averaging 10.5 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 0.5 assists, shooting 47% from the field.
Oh, that's nasty.
No, but now you look at last year's numbers where he played 62 games, and you could see clearly with the appropriate amount of minutes, and he's actually getting touches.
Whoa. So then say the numbers. Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
16.8 rebounds last year.
Okay. Julius Randle right now in less minutes, 14 points, 9 rebounds.
So what does that mean?
So he puts up better numbers, and he's way more flexible than Derek Favors. Derek Favors is.
What do you mean way more flexible? Just because he's more athletic?
He's more athletic. He handles the ball. He gets more assists.
No, you don't have to believe it, Lo. I'm saying there's a lot of different people on that team who can score. Derek Favors doesn't have to score for that team when they got Gordon Hayward, George Hill balling like crazy. So Derek Favors, he's going to get in this year. He's going to put in nice numbers, bro.
But what about last year when they didn't have George Hill?
Damn.
Oh,
watch some Utah games.
Oh, man. You need to watch some Laker games.
I watch 2 Laker games.
You're bugging if you don't believe that Julius Randle is better than him.
Not yet.
It's not yet.
I think Cat's eventually going to be better than DeMarcus.
It's not. Well, let's be something clear. Derek Favors is not DeMarcus Cousins. So it's not like I'm trying to make a reach by saying that he's the best power forward in the NBA.
I know you, Lo. You've been doing this thing where you said to overrate some young guys. I see you, B. I see you.
Okay, right now I did have Derek Favors in my top 10 because I had Derek Favors 7th. I was
at his position.
Yeah, his position. Yes.
Who's better than him? Who?
A lot of people are better than him.
I'm gonna say Davis is better than him. Aldridge.
Come on, Paul Millsap, Blake.
Paul Millsap. Draymond Green.
Exactly.
Porzingis is better than him. And
then, he is.
Porzingis.
He's better than him.
But he's not. But keep going.
He is.
That's it. That's the 6.
You don't have Julius Randle on there?
I didn't put Julius Randle on there. No. Oh my, that was my list at the beginning of the season. Right now, Derek Favors is like 8, because then I would put Julius Randle above him. Right, he might be 9. I gotta look at what Serge Ibaka's doing too.
You sound like a Laker fan, Lo.
Yeah, you goddamn right. Y'all on this channel for the next couple of weeks, y'all gonna figure out who the real number one Laker fan. Let me chill out.
What about Kevin Love?
Kevin, the way they play Kevin Love, he be looking real shaky to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's still averaging 21 points.
Yeah, I think Kevin Love is better than Favors though.
So that's another name. So how I don't know. He might not be top 10. You right, Waffle.
He's not.
Right. He probably isn't top 10.
Man, I bet you can find someone right. I'm gonna find someone right now, real quick. Let me hop off too quick.
How the fuck did you name Porzingis but not name Love?
I'll put Love is on the list. I just had Love below Porzingis. That's all. I had it's Porzingis, Favors, then Love. They were all right next to each other though. It wasn't like Love wasn't on my top 10 or something like that.
Word?
Yeah. I just feel like the way that Julius Randle's playing right now, people like see D'Lo handling the ball, and don't get me wrong, D'Lo he's a guy that's really doing it. But people need to understand. I mean, no, he's the when I say doing it, like he's the one. It's obvious that the Lakers are trying to focus their franchise around D'Angelo Russell. Like it's very obvious now. And for people who look at their numbers and they see their numbers like, oh, those are really good numbers. Like what they're putting up is really good. Look at the minutes that they're playing, because there's nobody on that team playing 30 minutes. Everybody's doing what they're doing in under 30 minutes. So be very clear about what's going on that team. They're putting up those numbers, and they're doing it rather quickly. I just want everybody to know. And on top of that, last year, Julius Randle was averaging 10 rebounds in less than 30 minutes. Let's be something clear, Agent. Even last year, you can make an argument that it wasn't that far of a gap. But this year,
Bargnani is better than Julius Randle. All right?
This year, you bugging.
Bargnani better than freaking Derek Favors.
That man, Julius Randle's really good.
Zach Randolph better than Derek Favors.
No, that's too much right there.
Nah,
that's too much.
What?
Old man Zach.
That man Zach been averaging 15 points per game each year. He probably averaging 15 right now. What you want to bet?
You talking about Zach LaVine?
He said Zach Randolph.
Oh.
Come on, I don't underrate
that.
But
I'll say this though, that gap ain't that big though.
Niggas was still killing.
So we'll go back and we'll talk about some more teams that's on the up and up and is winning. Shout out to Chicago Bulls, 4 wins in a row, 4 games back to back.
No. Shout out to Jimmy Butler. He's the whole team, real quick.
Yeah, 8. Now they're 8-4. For the people out there who swore up and down that Randle, he not overrated. He can facilitate. He can start shooting and all that. Randle ain't playing that good. So y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Shout out to Wade too, because he's knocking down his threes like he's supposed to. But like,
you're the guy who said they're not even gonna make the playoffs.
No, I still don't think they're gonna make the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I think.
You're lying to yourself now.
No, because I don't. You think Wade is going to play enough games?
Yes.
They don't need Wade. It's Jimmy Butler's doing it all.
You're crazy if you don't. They don't need the 17 points that Wade is giving them.
No, Jimmy Butler can drop 40.
Okay, you think he DeMar DeRozan or something like that?
But they got Lopez too. I think Lopez balling, boy.
Lopez played like some solid games over the week. I saw that. But now that the team is on the up and up, 4-game winning streak. Look at who they beat. They beat Miami by 3. Shout out to Wade for his homecoming. Beat Washington. Some of these games ain't good though. What? Beat Portland. Portland is taking some L's, and they beat Utah as well.
Too much L's.
Portland is taking a lot of L's. Have y'all been looking at this team? Have y'all been looking on the up and up? What's going on with this roster? Y'all seen what's going on with them?
The Bulls?
Yeah, the Bulls. Y'all see what's.
I haven't watched the Bull game all year.
Dang.
I only watched one of their games, and that was against the Knicks, but we beat them. So
I saw one of their games, and I think it was early in the season. It might have been against the Knicks too. But yeah, shout out to the Chicago Bulls. I'm trying to figure out what Jimmy Butler been doing the last 4 games because agent.
Oh, he's doing impeccable. He's doing amazing. He's giving DeRozan a run for his money right now.
Are you done? Jimmy Butler, the last 4 games they won, averaging 26 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds, 46% from the field, 50% from 3, 92% from the free throw line, playing really well. Not turning the ball over that much often with 2 steals, 2 turnovers. That's really good, actually. So Nice play from Jimmy Butler carrying that team. Rondo is out, going to miss a couple of games, but they don't really need him because he's not that good anyway. The thing is with me is, I don't think that we're gonna talk about that too. I don't think that Wade is going to play enough games, and I don't think that Butler is that great of a player to really carry that team while Wade is missing his annual 20 to 25 games, because he's going to miss his annual 20 to 25 games.
No, he's not. He even missed 25 last year. He missed 20 last year?
I said 20 to 25. Fuck. I got to be on the exact number?
Nigga, he going to be fine this year, boy. He's not even playing hard.
Why would he be fine? Because he's 35 now?
He's having fun out there. You see him playing hard? He's been playing easy out there. It's easy basketball.
He's like a house league coach.
He's trying to he doing too much out there. That's what he's doing. He's trying to prove a point. Like, look at me run up and down the court. Look at me doing all this stuff. Look at what Miami missing. Look at Miami. And he's trying to prove a point. Actually, he played a lot of games last year. He played 74 games.
Exactly, nigga. Oh.
But he trying to prove a point and watch how it backfire and watch how he gonna miss games. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Now I could be wrong, but I can see him missing some games, and maybe that's
he'll miss maximum 10 games this season.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. But I think I still had him out of the playoffs anyway. But yeah, shout out to Chicago Bulls, 4 straight games in a row. Celtics missing Al Horford and Jay Crowder.
The great Al Horford. And they playing. I don't know if they're still playing right now, but they were playing Golden State Warriors, so they lost that game already. But the Celtics really missing Jay Crowder and the great Al Horford.
He's back. You've been back.
Jay Crowder?
Yeah.
Oh no, Crowder wasn't playing tonight. I was watching that game. I know Crowder wasn't playing tonight. He wasn't playing tonight.
I think he was doing the freaking drills and everything. I'll bet.
Yeah. Crowder wasn't playing tonight, and neither was Al Horford. I saw them on the bench with their suits on. But they've been struggling a couple of games that they've been out, losing now to the Golden State Warriors. They lost to Denver, which is a pretty big loss. Then they lost to Washington, which is another huge loss. That's a loss you don't want to lose to. And then they lost to the Pelicans by 1. Right now, Al Horford's still out with the concussion, and then Jay Crowder with the ankle. What do y'all think how far this team can go? Because Isaiah Thomas can only do so much. I mean, he's going out there, he's balling, he's putting up the points, and he's being rather efficient, which is pretty impressive. But they're still losing games. What do y'all grasp out of this stretch? They're starting Marcus Smart at small forward too, just in case people.
Hey, 35%. That's what's up.
That team just got nasty, bro. I mean, honestly, without Al Horford in the lineup and without Jameson Crowder, they don't have Evan Turner no more. They don't got Jared Sullinger no more.
Yeah.
So that team is just completely depleted. I mean, Marcus Smart is just a terrible shooter. Jaylen Brown, he's good, but his free throw, he sucks at free throws. So really, it's just Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley there, who claim to be one of the top backcourts in the NBA, which I guess they are. I don't think there's that many backcourts in the NBA you could say are really top. So they're definitely in the conversation there. But this team, fuck the Celtics, they suck.
Wow, it looked like you were gonna say something intellectual.
I did. It's facts. They suck.
Yeah, I watched one Celtic game. Man, I turned it off 5 minutes later because I couldn't finish that Celtic game. I'm just not interested in watching that team play. I will watch, though, once they finally make a trade, because it looks like they're on the horizon and making some trades. They're all over the court with the trade rumors. But, I know they got a lot of injuries. Even with the injuries, though, they really need to work on their defense. But I think Jay Crowder, whenever he comes back, will be a big help.
I watch almost every Celtic game that I can watch. You know why? If there's one team that I would mind being wrong about, it would be the Boston Celtics. If I'm wrong about the Boston Celtics, I'll be extremely happy, man. I said they're gonna make the playoffs. If they miss the playoffs, man, you know how happy I would be.
They're not missing the playoffs, bro.
They might not. Now, you might be right. Hey, you right. You right.
No, they're 100% not gonna.
But all I'm saying, I hope that this team goes down a little further down in the standings. Might have to go against Toronto in the first round.
Man, they'll be out in the standings, man. They're done.
No, all the way in the playoffs though. And they get if they go against Toronto in the first round, they get bounced. Oh man, you know what that would do? I love Toronto. Toronto might be my second favorite team now.
What the fuck?
I would immediately not go buy a fucking DeMar DeRozan jersey ASAP.
Hey, by then, Raptors would have DeMarcus Cousins or Anthony Davis, right? Celtic fans?
Hey, let's wrap up these real quick. So we can talk about these trades. So the trades is what's going on right now. A few other teams that struggle, like we said earlier, but the Blazers, they losing a couple of games. I don't know why y'all think Blazers that good, but it is what it is. And then finally, the game of the week, Thunder versus the Rockets. Thunder came out on top. A lot of people question the game winner dunk that they saw from Russell Westbrook because it really wasn't the smartest NBA play, but it went through. Did y'all see that game? Because I actually saw that game. Did y'all see the game?
No, I was away. But I saw the dunk. I came in for the dunk, boy. And like I said, when you got a top 10 player, you're just gonna win games. You're gonna win them games.
Oh man, it's a couple of things, but it's a good handful of people in here, so we might as well talk about these trades real quick. So, for the people out there who don't know, I'm looking in the chat as well. Y'all can put in the chat some of these trade rumors that we're about to touch upon. And shout out to my man who keep asking me about Karl Town should get more minutes. Yeah, he should get more minutes. Him and Wiggins, but I think what's his name? Tibbs is trying to do something new out there in Minnesota. He probably is really looking at the criticism that he received not too long ago when it comes to playing some of the players way too many minutes, and he's probably holding back on those minutes and taking his criticism to heart. So that's all was really going on over there. But going to these trade rumors. First trade, let's just talk about DeMarcus Cousins because I think that's the more realistic one. DeMarcus Cousins, the Sacramento Kings are really close to coming to the decision and coming to the conclusion of trading him sooner than later. A lot of people have speculated that the trade should happen somewhere between now and within the next 2 months. So before January, or maybe like somewhere between mid-January, but for sure before January ends, we probably are going to see DeMarcus Cousins on a new team. Do you all have any predictions for the teams, and what do you think about the whole situation with him in Sacramento?
There's a good chance he might end up in Toronto, yo. Right?
I don't know what y'all have to give up.
Nope, he's not going nowhere. As much as we want him to go somewhere, you already know how it is with NBA teams. They rarely ever trade away superstar talent, even when it's very clear that they're going to lose him. So they're not going to trade him, realistically speaking. But on the off chance that they do, there's not many teams that need a DeMarcus Cousins. He's a great player. Don't know how well he is for the locker room. I don't really want to speak on all that because I don't really know how he is now. I've never seen him in the locker room before. But he's a talented player. And some teams, like maybe the Warriors, you can make the argument, are looking for that talent. You got to be willing to give up either potential players and potential picks. If you're not willing to give up both of those things, you can't just get him on the cheap. I know the Kings. The Kings didn't have dumb decisions. I know. They'd rather just wait it out and get nothing back for him than to get cheated in a deal with somebody trying to get him, trying to get him for cheap with the bargain. It really depends. But there's some teams in the market. There's a lot of teams out there looking for a big man, right? There's not a lot of those in the NBA now. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think he's going to get traded either. I mean, I think the age of blockbuster trades is kind of over because teams are just too hesitant to trade for a player, especially if they don't know if he's going to sign back. They don't have a guarantee if the player's going to stay in the city. And it's like, even if a team were to trade for him, it's like it has to be a team that's at least close to competing, at least, deep into the playoffs. And honestly, the teams that already are competing deep into the playoffs, other than, if the Raptors got anything to trade for them.
The Celtics.
Nah, they're not deep in. They're deep in a pile of shit, but they're not deep in the playoffs. But any of those teams, they already have what they need, and they're not trying to give up and disturb the chemistry they already have. So really, he's just gonna be sitting there like a duck.
You know what I think? Maybe this is unrealistic, but I think the Raptors have a good shot at him, because they give away Jonas, likely Terrence Ross, that bum. And keep in mind, Jonas just signed a new deal, so 5 years. Young player like Jonas, what is he, like 25, 24? I think he's 24. You get that player, likely throw him a couple picks, maybe Lucas Nogueira or Bruno Caboclo. The Raptors have a lot of young, or maybe Norman Powell. That's what they're likely going to be looking for because they don't want talent right now. They're not going to want, DeMar DeRozan or Kyle Lowry back for DeMarcus. You're giving up DeMarcus. You're pretty much saying, all right, we're going to chill for a bit. And the thing is, the Raptors have one of the best general managers in the NBA, and the Kings have one of the worst. So I think there might be a situation in which there's some finesse going on. The New York Knicks had that happen to them when we gave y'all Bargnani. Don't know why you took him. I remember, if you guys remember the Nuggets trade, when Nuggets traded away Carmelo, Masai Ujiri at the time was the GM of the Nuggets, and he finessed the fuck out the Knicks. Because at the time, it was looking like a pretty bad deal. But then at the end, we're like, whoa, you got all that back? That's great. Good shit, Masai. That was
they didn't get shit. They didn't get nothing.
He did, though, because he got Executive of the Year because of that. Anyway, so we'll see. I feel like the Raptors stand a good chance. If not, I know that the Celtics with, well, who the fuck? They got like a bunch of average centers over there, right? So they also stand a chance.
They got the great Al Horford. You better cut that.
Oh, the great Al Horford, you right. But if they could trade Al Horford, Olenek, and some picks and, you know, a little talent here or there, I think they would give it a shot. You can make the argument Golden State will probably try. They probably will, but they're not going to have anything to offer, of course, unless they're willing to give up Klay. And even then, why would you, if you're the Kings, give up DeMarcus for Klay? It doesn't make any sense because Klay's going to help you get wins and you need to lose more. So it's all over the place, but I'd say I hope he comes to the Raptors. Maybe I'm being a little biased, but I think that's where he maybe stands the best chance.
For the people who don't know, like, I just put out a video, and in the video, you know, I had that trade on me where Klay Thompson was being moved and DeMarcus Cousins, and DeMarc found himself on the Golden State Warriors. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but no, that ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie. If the Sacramento Kings don't trade him though. And y'all, because there's a lot of people in my comment section that will tell me, like, yo, taking away teams, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you taking away teams? If they don't trade him, that team doesn't need to be existing no more.
They're not going to trade him. I believe they're really not going to trade him.
If they don't trade him, they are the worst. That organization.
There's about a 90% chance they don't trade him, by the way. This is probably going to.
That is the worst organization. And there's nothing that nobody can convince me different if they do not trade DeMarcus Cousins.
You know how you'll know they trade? Because they're likely going to trade Rudy Gay before DeMarcus, unless they're in the same deal. Rudy Gay is in trade blocks. I know Utah been calling up about Rudy Gay, seeing what's popping because Gordon Hayward is unhappy with Utah, etc. Rudy Gay can go first, so we need to wait on Rudy Gay before we worry about DeMarcus. By the way, Rudy Gay having a phenomenal season.
I don't know. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. If they don't trade DeMarcus Cousins, that is the worst team, and it's not even close. But I think they're going to trade. And I think they'll just have to bite the bullet on something. And because who has that Laker pick? Are the Sixers? Because another thing nobody not saying. Are the Sixers crazy enough to give away Okafor or give away like one of their bigs to pick up Boogie?
I don't know why they'd do that.
I don't know why the Sixers would do that either.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out personally. Like, I don't know outside of not Brooklyn, but Boston with the Brooklyn picks. I really don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do, but they're running out of time and they're running out of options. And if they don't make a move sooner than later, it's going to be bad. Because if they wait next year, then any team that gets him or any team that might be interested in picking up DeMarcus Cousins, then they're just going to be sitting there like, well, he could leave at the end of the season. So why exactly am I investing all these assets into a player that I might not have later on down the year? So
that's why you don't see blockbuster big superstar deals no more, because no one want to take a chance on them players.
And some of them have no trade clause.
I don't know. I just feel like I think somebody's really going to bite, and I think another team is going to fall prey to what's going on. They're probably going to do it. So you know, it is what it is.
I bet $100.
I don't know. I might take you up on that bet, but who knows?
He just bets just because he likes the saying. He just likes talking about it.
The next player, though, that everybody's talking about trading is Anthony Davis. We spoke upon this earlier, but the New Orleans Pelicans are just god-awful, one of the worst teams.
They need to chill for a bit. What's life like with Drew?
I mean, regardless, though, because Drew Holiday is going to be – his contract expires this year. So one of the worst organizations in the NBA, again, with great talent. This is, again, another example of why there should not be 30 teams in the NBA, but, hey, it is what it is. And then you have some assets like Drew Holiday, Buddy Hield around him, but the likelihood of the assets really turning into something within the next 2 or 3 years is very, very small. And they don't really have any other moves to make because they really can't convince anybody to come down here to play in New Orleans. And to me, it's not really people playing in New Orleans. I mean, it's not people playing with Anthony Davis. It's people playing for the organization that is the New Orleans Pelicans, and they don't know how to manage a team. So that's the reason why people don't want to go down there. So what do y'all think about Anthony Davis being traded? I'll say this, though, real quick. The whole Drew Holiday thing. Sure, Drew Holiday is going to seem nice, and he's going to look nice with Anthony Davis. Well, any upgrade at the point guard position is going to look better than what they already have. But the thing is about Drew Holiday, like I said earlier, he's an expiring contract. So the only way they're going to be able to convince Drew Holiday to come back is if they overpay him. And so now you're in this systemic issue, either systemic overpaying issue where you're just going around consistently overpaying players that shouldn't really be getting that type of money, but you have to. That's the only way you can convince people to stay is by overpaying them, and then come to find out Drew Holiday really doesn't pan out. Same thing with Mike Conley. Mike Conley is not a max player, but the Memphis Grizzlies really had no other option but to overpay him because they needed a point guard. So that's a problem that's going to continue to happen, and then you end up in the situation you're in right now. So that's my whole take on Drew Holiday and what they're going to do. But they got him for 5. I think they got him for 5 years. So they're not in a rush to trade him, but I don't see him. I don't understand the reason why he should stay on that team.
Yeah. What?
We talking about Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
About trading?
Yeah.
What were you doing the whole last minute, bitch?
I'm trying to take out my next gear. But listen, man. Like I said, Anthony Davis is not going nowhere. First of all, he got years on his contract left. So, I mean, it would make sense because he has a lot of years to get if they wanted to tank right now because they don't really have anybody next to Anthony Davis. But at the same time, it's like that's the person you drafted. That's supposed to be a rising superstar. You know what I'm saying? And in that scenario, it's like you can't trade him. So they're going to keep him for a couple years and continue losing because, first of all, no one wants to go play out of New Orleans Franklins because, first of all, the Pelicans are a terrible name. Cut that out. New Orleans is a nice city, but listen, that's nasty. Like, who wants to be part of that city and be like, yo, I play for the Pelicans, boy. What up?
You be a Cavalier, bro.
That shit is better than the Pelicans.
No.
At least the Cavaliers is kind of lit.
What is lit about a Cavalier?
It's called the Cavalier, sir. It's not just a Cavalier. That shit's not the Pelicans, boy. You're not a freaking animal.
Oh, all right, whatever.
But he's gonna stay there and suffer like all the rest of the NBA players in the league right now. They're suffering.
There's about a 0 chance they trade him, unless Anthony Davis demands a trade. Anthony Davis to start the season said some shit like, New Orleans is my home. I love this place. Can't wait to play here when he resigns. So,
that shit sounds similar to Kevin Durant, bro. Goddamn.
Nah, but in this situation, his contract is not expiring anytime soon. So they can just
no. Kevin Durant said that when he signed his extension with OKC.
Oh yeah, of course. But things change. If it's a garbage team for the next 2 years, he's probably gonna be like, "Yo, get me the fuck up off here." But Drew's back, and if things pan out, I mean, they got Buddy Hield out there. He might be decent. It just seems like they're just disoriented though. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't have any sort of cohesiveness. They're just relying on pure talent to win games. And it doesn't look like they have what it takes to build a team around Anthony Davis. Now, I hope they do, because I think that team could be a lot of fun if they pull it together. But then again, we'll see. A lot of it had to do with injuries. Keep in mind, Anthony Davis, the whole team really, especially Eric Gordon, Tyreek, those guys get injured every 2 days. Ryan Anderson. So, I mean, now that they got a new type of team, we'll see how it works out. I'll give him like 5 games, though, before we revisit a convo like this, because with Drew back, it looked like things really changed against Portland. I'm excited to watch some of these highlights because Drew Holiday might really ball out for my fantasy team this year, bro. And not just fantasy numbers. I don't know if it looks kind of close when you look at the end score, but it wasn't. It wasn't if you watch the game.
It wasn't. Just in case people got hyped up for no reason like I did. I don't know. I like watching.
Damn.
You all right?
I'm good, John.
You good? You sure you good? You good?
All right, yo.
All right, cool. No, but I like Waffle said, they got him under contract for like 5 years. They're not nowhere near close to coming to any conclusion of like, oh yeah, we need to get rid of him as soon as possible. They're gonna hold on to him as long as they possibly can. So I don't really see them trading him anytime soon. So it is what it is. And the last trade we're gonna talk about, I just did a video on it. So as soon as the podcast is over, make sure you make your way to that video. Make sure you watch that video for me. What if the Golden State Warriors traded Klay Thompson?
They wouldn't.
Now, hear me out. Hear me out,
bro. It doesn't mean you trade the guy.
No. Hear me out now. Hear me out. The only reason why I brought up and the reason why I thought it was interesting, because I agree with you. 10, 15 games into the regular season, that's really early. I agree. But the only reason why I brought it up is because, Klay Thompson, even when they're not making shots, they're still winning game. And even when he's having bad nights or he's not playing that good defensively, he's missing rotations or they miscommunicating on defense, they're still winning games because that's how good of an offensive power they are. However, they're still losing the rebounding match. They're still getting exploited defensively on the pick and roll. Zaza Pachulia isn't a starting big. You trade Klay Thompson because it's not like you really need whatever you're getting from Klay Thompson anyway. You trade Klay Thompson, you trade a want for a need.
What do they need?
They need a big man who can rebound and can defend.
No, they need a stretch big that's consistent. Now, he's not being consistent this season, but this Klay Thompson.
They do not need no stretch big. What the hell?
No, that's a stretch. I mean, a stretch player. Stretch player.
I was about to say a stretch big.
I'm used to playing 2K. Anytime
I don't even think they need a stretch. I don't think they need that much more shooting though.
I know, but just to be able to spread the floor. If you got a play shooter like Klay, you're gonna double team Curry and leave Klay open? You're crazy. You know what I mean? And as soon as he starts making shots again, because he will, then you're good.
But the trade that I came, but you're not going to be good because you're still losing in the rebounding. The trade that I came up with was Klay Thompson to Orlando for Vucevic and Mario Hezonja. Mario is still, you can pass it to him. You're going to knock down the shots. And Vucevic, he's going to rebound. And he's an interior presence. So they can space the floor through not only passing the ball around with threes, but also with posting up with Vucevic.
DeMar just missed the game-winning shot.
Because he trashed.
So the Raptors lost to the Nuggets.
No, they didn't lose. Game-winning meaning they were up 2, and they could have been up 4 if he made it. It would have been a game, but...
Yo, why in the chat? Like, I don't understand why people acting like, no, that's crazy. That don't make no sense. I don't understand why people are so hesitant to like do anything. I don't understand, like, because I don't really think there's that big of a like. I'm not saying that Vucevic is because Vucevic isn't the greatest defender, but Zaza Pachulia ain't doing much for them defensively neither. And if I'm gonna give up defense, right, then I need to be getting some scoring ability from my big. Zaza Pachulia isn't giving you any scoring ability. And on top of that, Zaza, he normally does rebound better than what he is, but he's not really rebounding all that well neither. And they have to take Zaza out the game immediately. Immediately they got to take him out the game because he just isn't doing much. I don't know. I'd much rather have Zaza. I'd much rather have Vucevic and Zaza. And it's not like you desperately need a player like Klay Thompson on the perimeter. If you're telling me
to do the trick though, JaVale. You've been doing all right in the minutes he's playing.
But I think there's a reason why he's getting limited minutes. I think a lot of it has to do with injuries because that's a huge reason why I think a lot of people. I think that's a huge reason why a lot of people, a lot of people have limited him minutes throughout his entire career. Oh yeah, and also in the trade or what's the team called? The Golden State Warriors, they get a top 10. Well, they get a draft pick that's top 10 protected from Orlando, so they still get a pick as well. I think that trade is pretty good. But I probably sound like I'm bugging, so I don't know. I think that trade is good. I think it's pretty solid.
Clicking his buttons over there, man.
Yeah, I hear him. Yeah, I hear him.
You hear him playing 2K right there?
But I don't know. That's just me. That's my take on it. But I still don't think they should trade Klay Thompson anyway. I think that's crazy.
Fuck! Denver made it 3. Raptors down 1. All right.
Oh,
You Nelson, retire, bitch.
Oh shit!
Wait, how much time is left?
20 seconds left.
Oh,
20
shit.
seconds left.
I bet this game is on NBA TV. Hold up.
Uh-huh.
There we go. There's the Raptors. Here we go. I need them to lose 3 in a row. I could use that. That would be a turnaround.
That would be a turnaround.
What?
What's that have to do with you?
Listen, man, the more the Raptors lose, shit. Anybody could come back, nigga.
Yeah, y'all are about to lose 3 in a row. I don't
Y'all
know.
about to become 7-5, nigga.
Yo, you know how much you gotta hate the Raptors to give us the Warriors, then back-to-back Cavs? I think it was Cavs first, then Warriors. Back-to-back nights. That's crazy.
I mean, y'all love it, right? Y'all big talkers, right? It's lit in Toronto, right? Drake night.
I mean, there were close losses, but
Yo, that Drake night killed me.
I can't stand Drake.
Drake was OD on the bench. I was like, yo.
Oh, with that Doris Burke shirt on?
Yes. Man, that was crazy, bro.
Woman crush every day, B.
Yeah, women crush every day. Dinner's on me. Man, get out of here, Drake. That man do the most.
That man was doing it a little bit too much. I mean, we already cut it out, Drake.
That's what I'm saying. Cut it out, Drake. You do way too much.
Okay, let's
do y'all want to make a bet on this game right now, though?
No, I don't. I can't. I'm not watching the game, so I don't like betting on shit. All
right, Lo, you go ahead and carry on, man. I'm gonna finish this 20 seconds right here.
I bet.
Damn. So you behind then?
That's what I'm saying, yo. I think
I'm way behind.
Don't spoil it.
Nah, I'm not.
I don't think Klay. I don't think Klay is gonna. I don't think Klay is gonna be traded. However, it is an interesting topic to talk about because I do believe Klay Thompson. He's a want, not a need. They already spaced the floor really well. They already have enough firepower on the perimeter, and I think that and I think that they need rebounding and interior presence. Defensively, Vucevic isn't necessarily the answer, but at least they're going to get some offensive abilities inside as well. So moving on to the next one, though, talking about Charles Barkley said Klay Thompson. Actually, we're going to talk about Klay Thompson. We're going to compare a few players as well. Charles Barkley saying that Klay Thompson is the second best player in the NBA.
What?
Huh?
That's what you got on here. He said Charles Barkley said Klay Thompson's second best player.
Yeah, he said that.
In the NBA or on the team?
On the NBA, nigga.
Even if it was
behind LeBron James.
Even if it was in a team, that wouldn't be right though.
No, you're lying, Waffle. Because no,
I said that.
No,
you can search it up.
Hold on, let me look this up real quick. Because I'm just quoting whatever this man Waffle says. You gotta make sure you.
Waffle gives some wrong facts sometimes. Yo.
Yeah, you gotta look at what he says.
Oh man!
But while I'm looking this up, do you think even if they hypothetically trade him away, do you think he's good enough on his own to carry a team, be a 20-plus point scorer, be the first optional offense, or even be the second optional offense, or him and Isaiah Thomas carries a load, sharing carrying the load? Do you think he's that much of a presence, or do you think he's a system player and what he's been able to do for the past 2 or 3 years is strictly based on what he has in Golden State?
Nah. Ain't no way you putting up 37 points in a quarter and you're a system player. Nah, you better chill.
I mean, you get hot,
There's no such thing as getting hot. But when you talk about Klay Thompson, right? This guy is a shooter and he's a defender. And when you put the two together, you get a lockdown defender shooter.
Oh, he said this. He did say this.
That's what I'm saying.
This man Charles Barkley is outrageous.
Time out.
Wow. Don't say whatever you're about to say, man.
Nah, I just got tight. But not for the right reasons.
He really said Klay Thompson is the second best player. Well, that's crazy.
Chandler fucking break, bro. All right, no talking. 8 seconds. DeMar brings the ball up. Game-winning shot, 4 seconds left. Tie game. DeMar post fade with the shot. In and out.
Trash.
Oh. All right, overtime. I need to cut it. Oh man, in and out.
Or how did y'all come back? How did y'all come back?
Wilson Chandler missed the free throw.
What a trash.
What a choke. Yeah,
That's another player that I don't understand why they still have like Wilson Chandler and Gallinari on their team.
Yeah, one job. Yo, I can't stand the Nuggets now. Fuck this team. And you said they would. Cut it out. That man Masai Ujiri put the bombs on that team. That nigga missing free throws.
It's been like 5 years since he left that team.
Exactly. It's been 5 years in the same spot. Matter of fact, they're even worse than before.
Masai's not the GM of that team no more, bitch.
Exactly. He ain't no more. But even when he got there, fuck.
Actually, I don't know what that team was
doing. For Melo, he was gone a couple years later. What are you talking about? And remember, the couple years later, they had that. I think it was like a 56-win season. It was a crazy. You remember when they had Kenneth Faried and Ty Lawson? They were balling. That was Masai.
That was George Karl. Stop.
Yeah, that was George.
That was George Karl. General manager though.
But George Karl was still head coach, and then they got rid of George Karl.
Stop trying to discredit Masai. Masai put that team.
Bro, that team was
the same coach.
I'm saying Masai put that team together though.
No, he didn't. They had to do a trade because Carmelo Anthony told him to get the fuck out of Denver.
No, Masai made that happen, bitch.
Oh, he did not. Yo, you're crazy.
So.
They were already a playoff team.
That's actually a good point to make. The only way a player would be traded like a DeMarcus Cousins or Davis would be they would have to force their way out and said, I'm going to sign with this team no matter what. You might as well trade me there now, which will also be dumb because you might as well just sign in the team in the offseason.
You're fucking up that whole team when you do something like that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're crazy if you think that Masai, he really had some imprint.
He got executive of the year that year, bro.
But it's not like he did anything. You're making it seem like he's the one who pieced that together. Like he's the one that George Karl was already
got all those pieces back.
Yo, George Karl was already
all
on the team. Pieces back. What pieces? The pieces that they've been sitting on for the past 4 years?
What are you talking about? I'm talking about Melo.
I'm talking about what is Denver doing with those quote unquote pieces.
That's on coach to decide. Masai just brings the players in.
That's coaches? How is that a coach's decision to decide what the – I'm talking about they need to trade those players.
Do you mean the players right now?
Yes.
That has nothing to do with Masai. Masai's with the Raptors now.
No, but when he got those – how long was Masai with that team after that trade?
A year or two? I think it was – I don't even know if it was a year or two because it was a year after he won Executive of the Year he left.
And they signed all them players to them – yeah, I don't know what Masai was doing.
Why would you lose that talent, though? Of course they're going to re-sign them.
Bro, this is not even talent anymore.
Not even a debate, though. Masai is easily, if not the best, one of the best general managers.
Like come on.
No,
I'm telling you this because I studied this shit. He is easily.
No, he's not.
Okay, I don't know.
What do you say? When you say easily, you mean top 15? You mean top 15? Sure, he's top 15.
Name me 14 GMs, Lo.
Name me. I'm just saying. What are you saying?
No, don't avoid the topic. Name me 14 GMs that are better than him.
The initial question is, what do you say? One of the best.
You don't even know 14 fucking GMs, bro.
I'm just asking you a very simple question, Agent.
No, you're ignoring the question. Name 14 GMs.
Me, when I said top 15, that was a question.
All right.
When I said top 15, that was a question to you by asking you, what do you mean by one of the tops? That's because you just said a blanket statement. So what do you mean?
Top 3. My opinion, best.
What has he done in Toronto that makes you believe the best?
Oh, I don't think you know what he did to Toronto.
I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking you.
It takes a very long time to take the garbage.
Just a quick overview. What did he do?
I'm letting you know. It takes a long time to disassemble the bullshit the previous general manager put together. So Brian Colangelo, who is now the general manager of 76ers, good luck, 76ers. By the way, they're not calling fouls on DeRozan right now. I'm looking at this shit. Okay. First of all, he removed Bargnani off the team. All right? He removed Jose Calderon off the team. Those are two cancers, two people getting large contracts that weren't doing fuck all right? So two garbage players, notorious. I think nobody was going to take him, and they got something back for him. He was able to get players like Landry Fields, get them the fuck off the team. Not only that, the only good thing that Brian Colangelo did was re-sign DeRozan. But that's something he would have obviously done. He re-signed him to max. It's not like he had a choice. He just said, yo, DeRozan, we'll give you max. DeRozan's like, all right, I'll stick around. And so this team you're looking at right now, if Masai this year is able to upgrade the power forward spot, you're asking the agent, how's he going to do that? I don't fucking know. Masai has his ways. You look at players like Biyombo. Nobody thought Biyombo was going to be nice. Players like Lucas Nogueira now, who's picking up Biyombo's role. There are so many players like that. Norman Powell last year. You would never think those players would be any good, but Masai picked them up. He used to be a scout for a couple teams in the NBA before he was assistant manager with the Raptors, before he was GM with the Nuggets, and now GM with the Raptors. He's a scout. He grew up a scout, and so he knows which players are nice, which players aren't. He is easily one of the best general managers. All right, it's kind of just difficult to explain. But if you're a Raptor fan and you went through buying Colangelo for however 8 years it was, and you got Masai now, trade after move after move. Remember he moved.
But what you haven't just name me. Remember like when he moved? Just name me 2 or 3 trades that are like big trades that were like that really.
They got Jose Caldwell off the team, Bargnani off the team, Rudy Gay off the team. Bang bang bang.
He got players that were already bad off the team.
And you remember when he traded away Rudy Gay and they got like Patterson and Chuck Hayes, and it seemed like at the time
the only player that's on the team that's from that trade is Patterson.
I understand that because it's been years since that trade. But I'm saying that's the trade that set up the Raptors to be in the position they're in right now.
I would argue that Kyle Lowry signing to that team is what happened. And Kyle Lowry signed before he got there.
There's a lot of amazing things Masai.
So DeMarcus Carroll contract, that's a beautiful thing.
Well, we'll see, because remember he's been injured. Oh my God. Oh, that's a charge. I thought he got crossed. DeMarcus Carroll's been injured pretty much all of last year, and
him shooting 36%.
Yeah, you can't predict that as a gentleman. You just have to bring in the players, hope they can stay healthy.
And I'm asking you
know DeMarcus gonna work out, but I'll tell you.
You really haven't named it one thing that he's like something that he's
giving
really
you examples. Jonas Valanciunas was signed to $15 million a year. At the time, people thought it was ludicrous. Now it's a bargain. Terrence Ross was signed to $13 million before the CBA change. People thought it was crazy. Now that's a bargain. All of these players that otherwise would have just been average talent.
Terrence Ross signed into a $13 million a year contract. That's not a bargain.
It's a bargain.
A player who coming off the bench and playing for less than 20 minutes a game.
But Terrence Ross is a young player is what I'm saying. So
how much is Tim Hardaway Jr. getting paid? Because I'd much rather have Tim Hardaway Jr. than Terrence Ross.
He's getting paid less than that, way less than that.
Because if Tim Hardaway Jr. getting paid less than $20 million or whatever, how much you said? I can't remember what you just said.
Lo, what you're saying right now is equivalent to saying.
But Tim Hardaway,
it's like saying. It's almost like saying LeBron isn't the best player in the NBA. That's the equivalent to what you're saying right now.
Oh no, he got a way better contract than that.
What are the Raptors doing right now? What the fuck?
That's Masai right there, boy.
Yo, Lo, I want you to remember this conversation right now because Masai.
But you're not telling me what he has done. That's what I'm asking.
Giving you examples, then you're pretending.
The only thing you're saying is that he got rid of players that were already bad.
Those are players that were like plagues. They were like fucking tumors. You couldn't.
How does that make him a great GM if he got rid of bad players?
And he was able to bring on potential talent,
which was.
I'm done with you, bro.
No, because you said Patrick Patterson. If that's the best player that he brought from Rudy Gay, I'm sorry, that's not that impressive, agent.
But it's not always about bringing players. You talk about
That's what we're asking.
Lo, not only did he sign players for phenomenally less than they're worth.
So wouldn't the Spurs be better though?
Yeah, the Spurs are better. Yes, the Spurs are better.
The Spurs have great scouts. I think the Spurs, that's why I said one of the best, because you can make an argument.
No, but you said an argument for the best. It's not an argument. The Spurs are better.
All right, you can think whatever you want to think. But
it's not a thing. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Anyone who knows about Masai Ujiri knows damn well he's easily.
There's nothing he's done.
I'm not going to try and explain it to you, because it's easy.
Because you haven't said anything. He came on a team that had bad players. He got rid of the bad players, and the best player he arguably got was either Patrick Patterson or Bismack Biyombo. And then he signed players that were already solid players that were already on the team to contracts.
So if the Raptors were losing, would you think he was a top GM?
Still? Absolutely not. I mean, if you put together a losing team, unless he was rebuilding and he was doing a great job like the Timberwolves, no. That team. All right. I got a list for you because
real quick. That team was already in the process of becoming a good team before he got there.
Bro, you're gonna like this list. I'm glad you brought this debate up because you're about to hold a massive. I can't wait for the chat to spam those L's. All right. So since he came to Toronto, this is Toronto. Remember?
Okay.
He traded Bargnani away. He got Marcus Camby, Steve Novak, Quentin Richardson. But here's where it gets interesting. For Bargnani, he got a 2014 second-round pick, a 2016 first-round pick. Remember that New York and Denver pick, which was a valuable pick, by the way. That was the pick they got Pirtle with. And a 2017 second-round pick. All right, let's keep going, though. So he traded away Rudy Gay, Aaron Gay, and Quincy Acey for Chuck Hayes, Patterson, Salmons, and Grievous Vasquez. Which is saying, Asian, that's not a good trade until you see what he gave away Grievous Vasquez and John Salmons for. So let's get into that. All right, he gave away John Salmons for Lucas Nogueira and Lou Williams. Lou Williams, a player who got 6th Man of the Year with the Raptors. Lucas Nogueira, a player who, if you've been watching the Raptors this year, just came from the D-League roster because Jonas had a little bit of injuries and Pirtle, he kind of took a side. I want you to take a look at if you're an NBA fan.
Then they decided not to bring back Lou Williams because they thought Terrence Ross was going to be the answer off the bench.
No, but I'm saying he brought the players on.
But he didn't keep them.
Listen, the point is if you know about Lucas Nogueira, you know, maybe not to the status of Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's incredibly athletic, and he has upside. And so the player that went pretty high in the first round in the past, that's the player they got for John Salmons, bro. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Grievous Vasquez, they traded away Grievous Vasquez, and they got Norman Powell, a player who's the only reason that the Raptors were able to win the first and second round of the playoffs. Because DeRozan and Lowry were playing like bums. Norman Powell stepped the fuck up in that series. And they got a 2017 first-round pick for Grievous Vasquez.
Remember, wait, time out. You're just saying this, but are you sure it's the pick, or are you sure it's just a swap, or are you sure it's...
No, I'm reading it as it is. I'm telling you.
From what team?
The Bucks.
They got a 2017 first-round pick from the Bucks, they did.
This is 2017. I don't know if it's a Bucks pick or a pick the Bucks had off another team. But they got a first-round pick for Grievous Vasquez. Think about that. How many of y'all even see Grievous Vasquez play no more? That's a player he traded away. The amount of moves he made, and those are just other moves on top of the ones I told you about how he was able to remove all these bums off the team. Yo, that man Masai, all I know is I have the utmost confidence that he's going to bring in a player that's going to help the Raptors make a playoff push. I'm 100% confident in that. And we're going to have to come back to this podcast, of course. And if it was trade deadline or moves not made, you can toss me 1,000 L's because I already know that's not going to be the case. So we'll see how it goes. But
you putting pressure on him this year?
This year. He that's what he does is he finds gems. That's what Masai does. He finds gems and he brings them on the team. Lucas Nogueira, Norman Powell. Those are players you basically got for nothing. Nothing. And there's such big cornerstones. Those are trade assets for you now, even if you don't want to develop them.
You're crazy if you think it's going to happen this year, though. Because it ain't that many. It'd be better off if you just wait till the offseason and see if he can get somebody for cheap.
And on top of that, I also like on the non-tangible side, the perception of the Toronto Raptors has changed significantly, especially within Toronto. So Toronto isn't seen like a bum-ass team no more with the garbage general manager and terrible ownership. It's ownership that's willing to spend money with the general manager that's very competent and a coach that sometimes doesn't know what he's doing but other times does. That's probably the biggest gray area for me. I don't know what the fuck's going on between Dwane Casey and Masai Ujiri. Sometimes you look at Dwane Casey, you're like, he need to go. Other times you're like, this shit is working. So
he needs to go. But you'll figure out.
I'm always
figure out. No, you'll figure out. You'll figure out.
Well, I gave you all the facts. This is what Masai did, by the way, in a matter of 3 and 4 years. He fixed everything Brian Colangelo fucked up. I feel so bad if you're a 76er fan because that man about to fuck up all your picks. He's the guy, by the way, Brian Colangelo, who drafted Bargnani first overall. That's the guy in charge of your picks? All right, yeah, good hiring. Good hiring, Philly. It's a sad day when Philly has that many picks and they pick the guy who's notorious for making awful draft picks. Really notorious. And he was able to sign DeRozan for a contract that people thought was ridiculous. That wasn't more of an accomplishment, though, because, DeRozan was going to resign.
That pick from Milwaukee has to be like a top 20 protected because they don't have the pick.
Damn, look at the comments.
Yeah, did you?
What's the comments?
They're cutting your ass, boy.
Yeah, they're right. I mean, people know it's not just me. It is not like I have this thought and it's only people in Toronto. Across the league, people know that Masai Ujiri is easily one of the best.
All I'm asking is, if his argument is Vasquez is the only player that they traded away.
Did you miss everything else I said?
Wait, listen what I'm saying. Vasquez, they traded away Vasquez. They got Powell, and that pick has to be protected because I'm looking at it right now, and it's not amounting to anything. It's not on. He's not even on there. Milwaukee still has their pick, so that has to be a top 20 or top 25 protected pick. So they might not even have that pick. Odds are they probably don't. So you turn Vasquez into Norman Powell, basically. Okay, cool. Seemed like Norman Powell might amount to something, but we're not going to figure out until 2 or 3 years down the line, right?
It's not all about the players they got, though.
I said 2 or 3 years down the line. And he's a potential player. I'm giving him credit for it. Fuck, Jesus. So
I don't know that's the first thing you resulted. That's a minor. Norman Powell is a minor thing in the grand scheme of what he was able to accomplish.
My big thing is you're saying that he got rid of players that were bad. That's not a huge accomplishment.
You know what, Lo? I'm not gonna argue this shit no more because it's
not. I'm not saying he's a terrible GM, but you're making it seem like he's a top GM because he got rid of bad players. He got rid of bad players. This is only what he's able to do in Toronto. There are so many general managers. If you guys remember, Brian Colangelo, the guy with the 76ers right now. Oh, whoa! Denver stepped out of bounds. Clutch. Raptors probably got this. Brian Colangelo used to be the GM of the Suns. And he was able to put together that team with Sean Marion and Steve Nash. That phenomenal team, you guys remember? He got executive of the year on that team. And that's why Toronto picked on him. They're like, whoa, he did good over there. And he did garbage in Toronto. So there's a lot of general managers or coaches. You'll see it with George Karl, and you'll see it time and time again. He's one, probably the biggest example, aside with D'Antoni, is they only know how to do one thing. You put them in a different environment and they can't adapt. Masai Ujiri is an example of someone who knows how to adapt. He not only performed. I don't call that adapting. I just call that you got on a team that had bad assets. You turn those bad assets to potential assets.
The team was under 500, and it looked like we were going to go rebuilding again. Remember, we just lost Bosch a little while back, and it looked like we finally got DeRozan back, but the team was looking garbage. You know, Toronto fans are like, fuck, this team's always going to be trash. That was the perception when Masai was signed. And now, a 56-win team last season, and they managed to get better. That's what Masai did over the course of his...
But, okay, what are the players that were put in place that allowed that to happen?
I'm not doing this. We're moving on.
I'm just asking.
Y'all niggas are going in circles, man.
If you want to name all those people over again.
No, because you're saying... Because Dwane Casey, the coach, was already there. Kyle Lowry was already there. DeMar DeRozan, already there. Valanciunas, already there. Like, all these players that are good right now were already on the team. So what are you saying? They got rid of bad players like Rudy Gay wasn't a good fit. They got rid of him. Makes sense. I'm going to give you a cookie for doing something that makes sense. They got rid of...
because most
I'm not.
Lo, you don't want to believe it. I understand.
You're not a top 3 GM because you did something that anybody with a half a brain would do.
No, that's not true.
Anyone with half a brain. That's why most GMs in the NBA can't fucking.
Yeah, most GMs in the NBA don't have half a brain. They're stupid. They don't know what they're doing.
Why aren't you a GM then, Lo?
I don't know, because I'll be looking at Sacramento. I'll be like, yo, that's what y'all doing? I could do that.
That's you're looking at the bottom of the barrel. I'm talking about the middle of the pack. Some of these teams can't get moved.
What's the middle of the pack?
A team like let's go with the Knicks.
That's been one of the worst organizations over the past 10 years.
The Knicks are one of the worst. Yo,
over the past 10 years, that's not one of the worst organizations.
They're not one of the worst fucking organizations.
You're fucking crazy, agent. You must not.
The Hornets, huh? Are they one of the worst as well?
The Hornets are not one of the worst organizations. I'm talking about over the past 10 years.
Why are we talking about 10 years? The GM doesn't stay in charge for 10 years.
All right. Oh, you think the Knicks have been one of the best organizations over the past 2 years?
It's not about best and worst, bitch. There's a fucking middle.
You think the Knicks have been a middle organization the past 2 years?
They have, though. They have.
You're crazy.
How have they not?
You think signing Joakim Noah to that contract was a great move?
It's 10 games in the season, bitch. You can't make that adjustment. You can't be fucking Captain Hindsight talking about...
There's no that's the whole point of a GM. Not hindsight. But a GM is supposed to be projecting what's going to happen. There's no way you're going to tell me signing Joakim Noah to that contract for that long and he's over 30 was a good idea. There's no way you're going to tell me.
I remember the game with the Raptors and the Knicks. Joakim Noah was fucking tearing us apart on the rebounds. It's part of the reason why they were even in the game to start with.
How long ago was that?
Like a week ago?
That was like a week ago, nigga.
Oh, I'm about to say, because that was like 2 years ago. That was Joakim Noah too. But that's every now and then. Joakim Noah doesn't even play enough minutes for him to matter.
Well, I mean, first of all, he got rid of Jose Calderon one as well. So that's one thing.
Y'all are killing me when you talk about GMs that get rid of players
but
that are bad.
Well,
that's crazy.
See, you're not appreciating it.
What does it appreciate? They brought them on the team. Your team brought that player on the team.
Okay, but how do you get rid of a bad player like that without having some kind of magic or juice, nigga?
Nigga, you're correcting him. You're trying to correct him a mistake that you made. A
positive, bitch.
How is? No. Masai is different because he's correcting mistakes that Brian Colangelo did. I'm talking about New York Knicks brought on Jose Calderon. Not too long
Raptors
ago.
won. Let's fucking go. All right, good shit. Close out.
And we'll just wrap this up because we are talking service. All I'm saying is this, because this is just, I guess, there's two different ideologies. I don't understand how I'm going to give somebody credit for doing something that they are expected to do. As an owner of the Toronto Raptors, I'm expecting you to come in and fix the mistakes that Brian Colangelo made.
But I'm going to finish with this, Lo. I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying there's no way for a general manager to know, unless you're God, that after you make this move, shit's going to pan out. And there is not one fucking move Masai made since he's been here where this shit didn't work out properly. And that is unheard of. It is crazy that he's been performing. There's not one trade where you can say, well, maybe. That's it. And the only thing you can call maybe Dwane Casey, whether he goes, that's opinionated.
That's not an opinionated. I don't know why you think that man is really that good of a head coach, but he's been on that team for quite a while now. And I haven't seen nobody be a head coach that long, and they have a very specific problem with moving the basketball, and they have not made a move.
It works, though. The Thunder did the same thing.
It works in what realm, though? Because if you're – if you're a team – If Toronto,
that's a different team.
The Thunder are one of the worst teams in getting assists per game.
They have two superstars, man.
And y'all don't have two superstars. One, but two, y'all are a team that is so close. Because I do believe y'all could beat Cleveland if y'all really start moving the basketball. Y'all are that close.
You get it. DeMar can't play moving the basketball. That's not how he plays.
He's an ISO player,
man. Are you going to move the basketball and kick it to DeMar in the corner? He doesn't shoot threes. DeMar needs ISOs, like Melo needs ISOs.
There's other ways to move the basketball, though. I mean, there's other way to be efficient while moving the basketball.
I'm telling you, I know it doesn't look pretty because this shit, it just looks weird the way they play. They do a lot of dribble handoffs and run ISOs and pick and rolls, and this shit works. It goes in there winning games. They were able to close out today. So, but what I'm saying is, as long as this shit works, I'm all right with it. But if this shit wasn't working and we're a below 500 team and we didn't make the Eastern Conference Finals last year, then, whoa, Dwane Casey, what the fuck is happening, bro? Are we going to do something about this? But this shit is working.
What I'm saying is, just real quick, but all I'm saying is, what is not Brian Colangelo, what is he doing, Masai? What is he saying? What did he do?
I told you
No, you're not, because you're just saying he got rid of bad players and he brought in potential assets. These potential assets are not the biggest. They're not the main reason why y'all are winning. They're just not. I'm sorry to tell you.
They don't have to be.
What I'm asking is, what is he doing?
The Raptors trying to make a push for Millsap, or they'll take a shot at AD or DeMarcus Cousins because
if you get Millsap, then you're right. Then I'll give you all the credit in the world.
Have these assets. You gave away nothing to get them, and potentially make a call to Atlanta or to New Orleans and see, yo, what's popping. Like
Atlanta ain't trading Millsap for none of those players.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying, but to be able to make the call and say you have assets, especially if the team isn't performing well. So if we see a team like the Kings, they're performing awful. They're like, we want to move DeMarcus. Whoa. We have assets for you. We also have picks. Do you want these? And you can do. So what I'm saying is Masai hasn't been wrong yet. And so the slogan in Toronto, the slogan is Masai we trust. We trust in Masai.
We'll see.
We believe Masai knows what's good. And he's the best general manager Toronto's ever seen. So we're going to leave it to his hands. He got this shit because he's had this shit for the last 3 years. That's it.
TKO.
So a top, or whatever, we'll see.
And they have a phenomenal bench. Someone in the chat just said that's facts. Terrence Ross should drop 16 today.
They have a phenomenal bench. Y'all just use words so casually. It's amazing to me.
They do, though. They have a really good bench.
He said phenomenal.
Remember when Biyombo, by the way, everyone thought Biyombo, we lost Biyombo. Lucas Nogueira is a new Biyombo. He started off the season just like Biyombo starting off. By the end of the season, Lucas Nogueira is going to be, especially in the playoffs, he's going to be all over the NBA.
All I'm saying is,
that nigga nice.
We'll figure out 2 years down the road when you got DeMar Carroll on that contract. We'll figure out.
Was it the Knicks waffle that Lucas Nogueira got all those blocks?
Yeah, he got the game saving block.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to one. Oh yeah, y'all like that's a great team. I still think Toronto's a great team. People in the chat, y'all think I'm killing them. But let's go from that team to this trash ass Knicks team. Because I'm sorry, Waffle. Waffle. That team is y'all team is. That team is trash. And I don't know what you talking about, Agent, but over the past 10 years, that has been one of the worst organizations.
10 years is very different. And by the way, in that 10-year sprint, remember when they had Melo when they were fighting with the Pacers in the playoffs?
You talking about that 1 year?
The 2 years actually in the playoffs where they were actually.
Man, they were in the playoffs 3 years, nigga.
But 2 of those years, they actually had an opportunity to go in the playoffs.
Had no opportunity. Just because you make the playoffs, that don't mean you have an opportunity to go far in the playoffs.
Nigga, they were the second best team in the East, nigga.
That 1 year.
Okay.
I just sat there and said that 1 year. That's what I said. I said 1 year.
But you're saying that's bad.
Y'all are bugging, yo. You go from 1 year. Y'all went from the second one of the top teams in the East.
All their players were lost the second year though. So how was that good management then? That's a terrible managed team. You go from one of the best teams in the NBA to one of the worst in a 2 year span. Well, honestly, that was a 2 year project anyways. All those players were old.
Okay.
Damn.
Y'all went from y'all got knocked out the first round, again, went to the semifinals, went from a 54-win team to a 37-win team to a 17-win team.
First of all,
get the fuck
the first year we made it and we got knocked out, that was the first year we made the playoffs in like years.
Yeah, because that's how bad this organization is.
All right, but that was before. Now we're getting back. We're getting better. It's definitely better than before. You can't deny that.
Better than what, 2 years ago?
It doesn't matter. It's better.
Yeah, 2 years ago because it was 17 wins.
Because I'm gonna bring it back real quick, and for this reason, when you say the Raptors need to move the ball, the Knicks try and move the ball. There are a lot of teams in the NBA that try and move the ball. This shit just doesn't work. And so I think that might just be the problem with the Knicks is you look at them sometimes, and it just feels like on offense especially, it's like, yo, this shit doesn't look like they know what they're doing, or sometimes it's confusion, or they have new players, so I get that there's chemistry problems. But if you just gave what if you said New York is just the ISO team, and you gave Melo those ISOs? I remember he was killing the Raptors with those fucking post-fade ISOs. He's still a very good player, makes amazing shots, a great three-point shooter. I got him on my fantasy team. I know all about his numbers. That guy right there, I think, if he's in the right offense, can lead a team at least into a top 4 seed in any conference, as long as that team's not garbage. And right now, it just looks like that team doesn't fit together. I know the pieces look attractive until you put them together. We'll give it time, though. Who knows? Maybe the chemistry will ring together. Remember when the Cavs first got back together? They were awful for the first 20 or so games. So,
no, they were not.
They weren't.
The Cavs were awful.
The Heat were awful.
They were way below standard.
The Heat were not awful. Why do people keep saying that?
They were the first year they lost to the Mavericks.
But he said awful. Awful is you are below 500 or something like that.
Awful compared to expectations, nigga.
Yeah.
Awful, but they were below 500 only one time in that first season, and that was in their first 4 or 5 games. If people go back and you look at their record really wasn't that bad. So when people say that they were because these people keep saying oh my god, remember the first couple of games they were losing, and it was the first 3 games they lost the first 2, and then after that they were fine. Stop comparing everybody to my, because here's the thing, you don't want me to compare LeBron to Carmelo, so don't compare the Knicks to the Heat. Don't do that then.
What? Who's doing that?
You just sat there and said, remember with the Heat, they weren't doing that good. That's just said that.
The Heat lost to the Mavericks, bro.
You talking about in the finals. This team not even going to make the finals, Agent.
But I'm saying those teams were disappointments. You could tell. You had all that talent. You lost to the Mavericks. It's clear the chemistry used to them. It took a season for them to get together.
They still made the finals. This team may not even make the playoffs. That's the difference.
It's very different because they had a big three.
So if it's LeBron James, don't even say nothing about Miami. We're not even going to talk about Miami then. Right? Don't even compare them to Miami, right?
The similarity that he's making a comparison about is that they perform under expectation until their chemistry got together. Now, there might be a chance the Knicks are just trash, but there's also a good chance that they just did not get – they need to learn how to work together. It's only been 10 games. They got a preseason, training camp. That's it, though. So you need to give them a little bit of time before you make this.
I think the ball movement can get improved, but there's certain things with that team that's just not going to improve. And defense on the perimeter, that's not going to be improved. That bench, it's not going to be improved. Rebounding, unless they start giving Joakim Noah more minutes, but they give him more minutes, they run the chance of him being injured. That's not going to get improved. There's certain things with these teams that are early on in the season that are not going to change. I don't know why people think, give Melo and them about a couple 20 more games, and they're going to become an elite defensive team?
No,
they become a better defensive team at least.
that team defensively is not going to become such a great defensive team that is going to make that big of a difference. Yo.
No, but I think what people are saying is give him some time before you evaluate how good that new team is.
That team defensively going to become better?
They've been getting better each game.
They're going to become that much better to where it's going to make a difference.
What the fuck? Dallas totaled 64 points today.
Yeah, I saw that. 64 in the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies totaled out with like 80 or 88 or something like that.
My God. Wow.
All I'm saying is some of these teams, and we can wait. We don't have to go deep into the season to figure out, like, let's see what they really are. I can look at them right now and I can tell you that bench is terrible. I don't have to wait 30 games deep to say, oh no, the Knicks bench is terrible.
We already know the bench is terrible.
So we got to wait 30 games for us to finally say, oh man, that defense ain't looking too good.
Things change over the course of a season. Defense,
nobody doesn't become an elite defender in 30 games, man.
We're not saying elite defender though.
No, they don't. I know. I never seen it.
It's about defensive chemistry, nigga.
Bro, y'all. All right, we'll see. Because that team defensively is not about to become that much better in 30 games. They might start outscoring teams. They might start realizing, what's really going on with the offense. But defensively, on the bench, and rebounding with like Joakim Noah playing limited minutes.
Listen, man, Joakim Noah could just stay there, boy.
I think they don't want him to play minutes because they think he's gonna get injured, and I think
no.
That's a legitimate.
That's not the reason he's not getting played.
Why not?
Why? Because when they put Porzingis at the 5, he's been doing way better, and Melo at the 4 is way better now.
In the chat, I want y'all to let us know, Knicks W or Knicks L for the team they got this year.
But y'all keep talking about expectations. So what is the expectations? It's a W. If it's a W, right? If they have a better record from last year, right?
Or no, it's a W if they finally make the fucking playoffs.
That's an L, yo. I'm starting to realize like they really paid Joakim Noah that much money. That's crazy. That don't make no sense at all.
By the way, I was the one who said they overpaid him, and you guys argued, no, it's fair, new CBA. I fully remember the argument we had when he got that contract.
Oh, wait. I'll say it. I was wrong. That nigga's overpaid. He should not be getting that much money.
I'm saying that was very clear to me already. I just wanted to, even if he's overpaid.
Oh, yeah, I'm wrong. I'll say it.
He'll be a valuable member of that team. So, don't count him as a garbage player just because he's getting paid a certain amount. He can still be effective on that. He might not deserve 17. He might deserve 13 or 14 million. But he can still be a proper member of that team, especially if he starts to kill it on the boards like he did against my Raptors. If he can do that consistently, that team's gonna be nice.
All I'm saying is, if the Knicks, I'm getting kind of tired of the fans being complacent and being content with teams we're just making the playoffs. So what's the next move after that?
That's what the Raptors did. They made the playoffs.
No. But what I'm saying is, you making the playoffs and then what? Because the Raptors, DeMar DeRozan under 25 years old. So you can say we're gonna ride this out.
Nah, I swear he's 26.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying a few years ago when y'all was just making the playoffs, he was under 25 or 25 or whatever, right? He was young. Melo at 32, just now making the playoffs, or not just now, but making the playoffs. Is that enough? Joakim Noah at 31 making the playoffs, is that enough? Derrick Rose at 28 on an expiring contract might go somewhere else. Is that enough?
That's the thing about management is not everyone's going to have a picture-perfect rebuild. Sometimes you just have to gather talent like the Knicks are doing so that you can assort for either picks or whatever so you can build up. It is not always going to look pretty when it happens.
Build up to where, though? Where are you building up to?
I get it. You look at teams like...
Nigga, if this shit don't work out, then Porzingis is there, nigga.
On top of that, if you can get Melo to just waive his clause and move him for some picks, and he goes to a team that he likes, there's a lot of opportunity. I get that.
If they wait one more year, then he's an expiring contract. So then nobody's not going to want him anyway.
No, teams will want him.
And you're going to get what?
Listen, it don't matter what we get. We're going to be in rebuilding mode, right?
Y'all need to be in. Y'all should have just took the L and just be in rebuilding mode right now.
Like a lot of teams, right?
That's what I said about the Bulls before they signed all those players, and now they look pretty decent. So there's opportunities for teams that have one good player and then just a random assortment of players to put together a team, whether it's through trades or through free agency.
He said no teams.
But what is the Bulls doing too, though? Because the Bull is not like Jimmy Butler's young, even though he just got in the NBA. He's already
26 or 27.
He's 27. He's already 27. So it's not like we're talking about again. DeMar DeRozan in that situation was different because he's under 25 and they're bringing assets, and they can say, "Oh, well, if this doesn't really work, then we can try something else." Jimmy Butler's 27. 2 or 3 years down the Jimmy Butler's 27, Dwayne Wade's 35, and Ronald's 30. Both of them on expiring contracts. If this doesn't work out, it's not like we can say, oh, 2 or 3 more years down the line, we can work this out. No, because at that point, Jimmy Butler is now 32 or 31.
Listen, man, just trade Wade and Carmelo to the Cavaliers, man. Because they're trash, right? Everyone said they're trash in the chat, right?
Not happening.
They said they're overrated, right? Trade them to the Cavaliers, boy. I'll take
How do
that.
they do that, though, without giving away LeBron?
They can still do it.
How? They don't have cap.
We'll take Thompson, right?
Y'all want Tristan Thompson back.
That shit matches up.
Why the fuck would you want to fuck with the Knicks?
Wait for Thompson, love for Carmelo. There you go, right there, right? That's what the chat wants, right? They're trash, right? They're old and overrated, right?
Somebody said Wade isn't 35, so he's 36 or something.
Yo, roster is low. You need to relax and cut it with all the 31 talk. People can be good up until 34, 35. All right, let's stop.
Wade is already. Oh, Wade is 34. Excuse me. But Wade will be 35 at the end of, in January. Wade will be 35 in 2 more months. He acting like Wade is gonna be 35 in the middle of his summer or something like that. 2 more months, Wade will be 35. So if your second best player is 35, well, I guess you got plenty of time, right?
They don't have time. I'm not saying they have time. I'm just saying they have options.
All I'm saying is, and you echoing too, Agent. You echoing.
How did I start echoing?
I don't know. And all I'm saying is, just for the people out there, this is how I view teams. I just look at teams, and I'm asking myself, what is everybody's 5-year plan? Because I don't know what Chicago's 5-year plan is. I don't know what the Knicks' 5-year plan is. I don't know where these teams are heading in 5 years down the line. What are you doing?
You sound like a financial advisor right now.
I'm just saying, because if you're talking about 5 years, everybody's like, well, we can't get this and we can't get that. And everybody's in free agency keeps saying what they can get. Everybody can't get the same player in free agency. So then you swing and you miss, or they don't even call you up to bat. You sitting at home looking at TV like everybody else, like Washington was waiting for Kevin Durant to call, and he never even showed up. He never even made an appointment.
Washington's just stupid, all right?
No, but what I'm saying is there's people who are going to look like Washington. There's people who are going to look like some of these teams who don't have anybody coming to them at all in free agency. And so when you're telling me that your 5-year plan is, oh, we're going to get this one piece, this one nugget, there's like 20 other teams in the NBA saying the exact same player they're trying to get. And if you don't get that player and you swing and you miss, then where are you at?
That's, by the way, I'm going to bring it back right now with the punchline. That's why Masai is so great, bruh. Is he swings and his batting average is at 100%, bruh. That man just bats. No, I don't want to go back into the debate. I'm just saying. But I see what you're saying. There are teams that fuck up and only go for free agency. But what do you expect them to do, yo? What's the alternative with that team?
I'm expecting 2 things. 1, get the fuck out the league. Or 2,
why would they do that, though?
Or 2, move your assets to a team that has the ability to build around them within the next 2 years.
Like who?
Draft picks. Wait. Just get draft picks and start rebuilding in a legitimate fashion.
And then they're going to do what the Kings do, though. The Kings miss draft picks. Miss, and all they do is miss. They can't get a fucking make. That's what people do when they have awful scouts.
Then get the fuck out the NBA.
Listen,
they need to be fired then. The Utah Jazz, but the Denver Nuggets, what have they done since Carmelo left?
Yo, Lo, there has to be good GMs. There has to be bad teams for good GMs. There has to be bad teams for good teams. There's going to be bad teams, bro. You can't remove them or else there's going to be new bad teams.
Sacramento, over the past 7-8 years, 10 years, drafted 8 big men. Get the fuck out the league. Just get out of the league. And then when they drafted other people, they drafted Ben McLemore and then Nick Stauskas on back-to-back draft picks. Get the hell out the NBA. Or hire new people, hire better people. They don't know what they're doing. Well, when I'm so serious. I'm looking at people's 5-year plans, and I'm like, I don't know what you're doing.
You don't need a 5-year plan. You need a what the fuck are you gonna do right now?
5-year plan.
What is? Orlando had Vucevic, Well, they still have Vucevic, but Vucevic, Tobias Harris, Victor Oladipo. Trade away Tobias Harris for Brandon Jennings and Ersan Ilyasova, 2 players who are not even on the team anymore. Trade away Victor Oladipo and Sabonis for Serge Ibaka. And if Serge Ibaka doesn't come back, what are they doing? That's the shit I'm talking about.
Not doing nothing.
That shit is crazy to me. But hey, man, we gonna see. Because I really don't think he's solid. He GM, but we'll see about Masai. Because you said you're gonna give him a year, right? You give him 1 year to answer that power forward position, right?
Yo, I don't know if you pay attention, but the only reason the move wasn't made last year is because Dwane Casey pleaded to Masai, don't make any moves. We have the chemistry to make it work this year. And they did. They had a good run.
Y'all should have swung at Al Horford.
You don't need no fucking Al Horford on the team.
You need the fucking great Al Horford. Chill it.
What they're looking for is a stretch four, unless they're planning to move Jonas. It needs to be a person who shoots threes. But you think Al Horford's going to stretch and shoot 3-point line? Because that's all Patterson does. He just pump fakes, drives, floater, or he pulls up for 3, and Patterson's a brick. All right? So that. I know it's going to be solved. I don't know how it's going to be solved, but Masai knows how. That's all I need to know.
We're going to wrap up this podcast with one more debate. Porzingis versus Miles Turner. This is a age-old debate we have on this podcast about who's better between Porzingis and Miles Turner. Agent is on this Miles Turner bandwagon to the wheels fall off. But shout out to Porzingis having a career high 35 points. Crazy game. Are you still on that? Are you still on that bandwagon, Agent?
Yo, just was it yesterday he dropped 22 points, 6 boards.
That's not 35.
And I understand that, but
That's
this is
not
on 35. A consistent basis. He's balling on a consistent basis on a pretty bad team right now. It looks like that doesn't have their chemistry right. So, I mean, Miles made a promise he can drop 19 a game to start the season. I think he can own up to that promise, man. I just think that team needs to fix their shit, because right now, if Paul George only dropping 21 a game, you have a major issue. And the issue is defense is no longer creating offense on that team.
Is Paul George one of the bigger disappointments in the NBA right now? Like, player-wise?
No, he's just overrated. Trash.
Porzingis averaging 20, just to let you know, Agent, though.
Oh, that's what's up.
50. Oh, I thought it was 50, 40, 90. No, it's 79% from the free throw line.
What's his field goal percentage over the year?
49.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
And 40% from 3.
We'll see, yo. I think
and attempting 5 3-pointers a game.
What about the blocks? What's the blocks again?
It's a block. 1 block. 1 steal.
Yo, Miles got that 2.4 blocks though, and we need to look at the defensive side too. Miles is a presence defensively, so I just
in Porzingis,
he's top 10 in opposing field goal percentages in the paint, boy.
They need to put him at 5. I don't know why they still up that.
That stat doesn't mean anything awful.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, word? Just like your stats in Prime? Oh, never mind.
My stats in Prime. I'm a baller though, so we can't do that.
Oh, but are you still on it? You still on the Miles Turner?
I seriously believe. Keep in mind that the Pacers had a really bad start, but they've been slowly picking it up. I know LeBron wasn't playing, but the win against the Cavs was a big win. You could say you beat the Cavs. It's like
win.
It's like no, come on. It's like when you say you played and you beat. It's like you beat the Golden State Warriors. Like, come on, Katie and Steph wasn't playing. I'll take it though. They still got a decent team outside of those players, right?
No, not really.
Kyrie and Love,
though.
Khloe Kardashian.
That seemed ugly while LeBron and Jay.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you gotta chill. And when LeBron went out too, that just made me realize, man, that team ain't that good.
No. You can't make that case because they played 1 game without LeBron.
No, but even without LeBron, I start to realize like Kyrie really not gonna be passing like that. And even if Kevin Love start to turn it on,
what?
Kevin Love really don't play defense like that neither.
Yo, just today, was it today? November? Yeah. Oh no, this shit was yesterday. Kyrie 25 and 11, bro.
That's
with 0 turnovers. What?
That's
and he shot 73% and 20.
Oh, yo, shout out to Westbrook and James Harden for the turnovers on my fantasy. Fuck out of here.
Wait, you got both of them?
On one league, I got one of them. In the other league, I got the other one.
Oh, I don't know how you got 2, but all right.
No.
5.3 turnovers per game for Westbrook, bro.
How many for Harden? I think Harden was 6. He might have turned it down a little bit.
5.6. So Harden's leading the league. Harden's about to break his own record, bro.
He about to pull a Steph Curry. He about to top himself. He about to go over the record again, yo.
Not the records you want to be breaking, man.
I don't know, but I'm not saying Kyrie's still good, but I mean, Kyrie and Love, neither one of them really are great defensive presences. And in the NBA, you still have to play defense. I know a lot of people don't know that. I mean, I think people may forget about that you got to play defense, but it is what it is.
It's overrated.
Who needs defense when you can outscore teams, right?
I know, right? That's what Houston trying to bank on. They still losing games. So
listen, I would take the 5 best offensive players on the team over the 5 best defensive players on the team.
You're dumb as hell.
Any day.
You're the dumbest person.
Kawhi can still play offense. Exactly. Come on, man. Take that back.
Who's the 5? Chris Paul at point?
No. I'm talking about people that strictly just play defense. No offense.
You said 5 best defenders, though, right?
That's what you said. You said 5 best defenders.
Chris Paul be point guard.
Chris Paul be point.
We got Kawhi at small forward, of course. Who we got at center? Do we have Whiteside at center? We have DeAndre at center.
Whiteside, DeAndre, or Andre Drummond.
Oh, we got Draymond. We got Draymond
at power forward.
Oh, yeah.
And who the fuck you got? You get the fuck out of here.
Huh? What? Who I got?
We got Klay on that team.
Clay at shooting guard.
Avery Bradley.
Actually, no, you don't have Klay. You have Tony. You have Tony Allen, sir.
Oh, what? All right, well, here's the thing. Fine, I'll take Tony Allen.
No. Avery Bradley. Hold on.
You got Tony Allen. Here's the thing. Even if I take Avery Bradley, Tony Allen, that team is still beating whatever team you're referring to.
And in the chat, someone brought up Anthony Davis. How could we forget?
Or Anthony Davis at power forward. You're bugging. You're telling me what team you gonna pick at point? At point with Curry, because he don't play no defense. So Curry at point.
I got Curry, right?
And shooting guard, you got James Harden.
I got James Harden, right?
Small forward, you got Melo.
I got Kevin Durant. No,
Melo plays less defense.
But I'm talking about scoring though.
But you're right. Wait, tell me. No. He gave us Tony Allen because he doesn't.
Because he's a better defender.
So wait,
Avery Bradley's better, by the way. But all right.
Yeah, I would make an argument about Avery Bradley. But okay, KD, and who else?
Who's that power forward? Who I got that power forward?
Who you got? You got Blake. You got Blake. I'm just asking. You got Blake at power forward?
Nah, nigga, I got Porzingis at power forward.
Oh my God.
That's offense, right? That's offense, nigga.
That's the best.
You got Blake at power forward, and then at 5, you got DeMarcus.
Yep.
Our team is beating your team.
He getting destroyed, bro.
Our team is beating your team. Our team is beating your team.
It's not.
Let me see. He said offensive team is Curry, Harden, Durant, Melo. I think Melo at power forward. Okay.
I'll take that.
Melo at power forward and Cousins. And in the defensive team, I'm taking Bradley. But it would be all right, why wouldn't it not be Bradley or Klay? I don't understand that. But it'll be Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard,
Davis,
and you could pick from one of the other big men in the NBA, like Hassan Whiteside. That nigga Hassan Whiteside is crazy right now. He putting up crazy numbers. Yeah, I would take the defensive team over the offensive team. Because as soon as Melo start bricking, as soon as Harden start turning over that ball, you're done.
Where he's going to be turning over the ball?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Is he winning point guard? No.
He beat the record last year.
What?
Last year was basically a point guard. So
no.
So now he's not going to be running with the ball because if now Harden not running with the ball and now it's his Curry hand, and that's a huge chunk of what Harden does offensively anyway.
The defensive team wins. That'd be a good My League video, by the way.
That would be a good My League.
Let's forward that video. I need a crispy.
But defensive team would win though. Yeah, that defensive team would win. But yo, shout out to everybody in the chat for sticking with us. Got a little heated today. You know what I'm saying?
It's fucking midnight, bro.
I got to play devil's advocate with these boys sometimes. Teach them.
That's not what you were doing.
Yeah, I got to teach them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what they talking about. They just be talking. So it is what it is.
Nah, you had the biggest L.
No,
you had the biggest L.
It's not no biggest L. Because I'm telling you right now, if that Toronto team doesn't get a power forward, you're holding the biggest L today.
I'm still okay, fine, but they will get a power forward though, so I'm not tripping. Yo,
I'm not talking about like Cody Zeller. I'm talking about legit power forward.
Oh, by the way, Sullinger still has to come back. I hope y'all know that.
Yeah, I know. Something has to come back.
Okay. In the chat, y'all, I want y'all to let us know who held the biggest L today.
They might say me, but they bugging because
because you already know, right?
They team might be the New York Knicks, and they acting like they got a future. So you know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
Listen, not every team's gonna have a future, man. You can't just.
That's a shame.
How's that a shame when you got LeBron James and the Warriors stacked team in the league? What do you want us to do, nigga? You want us to wait 10 years?
That's not no 10 years. You're crazy. Because in 5 more years, when the Cavs when LeBron is older,
Kyrie 5 years right there.
When LeBron is older, Kyrie and who knows what Kyrie and Kevin Love doing, and in 5 more years when Curry's like 34. How old is Curry? 29, right?
Yeah, he's not 30, I don't think.
Yeah, so when Kyrie and Katie are both 34, and my team, the Lakers, they're 20, they're 25, 26, 27.
Curry is 28. Yeah.
So he's okay, so let's say 33, 34. Curry is and Durant's roughly around the same age. Y'all crazy. My team gonna be looking stacked in 5 years. I don't know what y'all team gonna be doing in 5 years.
Y'all team gonna be doing nothing, nigga.
We'll see, boy. I bet you. You're a fan of a team that hasn't seen the NBA Finals in years.
Listen, man. I haven't seen the NBA Finals, but you know what I saw? I saw the Yankees win a World Series. I saw the Giants win 2 Super Bowls, nigga. So listen, nigga. The Knicks got 50 years before I die to win to get to the NBA Finals.
You got jumping off a building in 50 years, Slim, bro.
He said the New York Knicks got a 50-year plan. But yeah, y'all can say y'all concluding statement,
Go ahead, Waff.
Yeah, everyone in the chat suck my dick.
Well, I don't know if you've been watching the chat a little bit. Waff got most of the L's in the chat.
Yeah, I saw in the chat because people already know that. I don't know that in 5 years where that team gonna be at, man. That's a shame.
Anyway, I'll go. Hey, Masai the Great, bro. Masai we trust. We need a dollar bill that says some shit like that. We don't have dollar bills, though. We have coins. We got the loonie with a little Canadian goose on it. We'll catch you guys on the next podcast, of course. I was eating some KFC during the podcast. That's why I was so hyped. I was like, it's just fucking chicken wings are nice right here. But I'm about to hop on some 2K, so I'll see y'all later.
Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out for y'all for kicking it with us. It's kind of late.
Whoops! I timed someone out by mistake. Oh well.
Wow, we'll try not to be. We'll try not. Yo, you're crazy. We'll try. Yo, you're bugging. We'll try not to be this late next week, but you know it is what it is. Shout out to y'all for kicking it with us. Like Agent said, we probably gonna be on 2K. So if we in the park, y'all can probably catch us. But until next week, I'll see y'all later. Make sure y'all check out that video I just uploaded. A new episode of I can't talk. A new episode of NBA Mythbusters should be popping up somewhere around next week. And 2 weeks from now, I want to say 2 weeks from now, I'm going to do another versus video, Kobe and somebody else. Just for y'all. I'll give y'all a little sneak peek on what's going on since y'all hanging in with us. So 2 weeks from now, next week, NBA Mythbusters. 2 weeks from now, Kobe versus another player. So shout out to everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
Oh, my God.